All right, folks. So welcome in here. So just because we've got so many names in Titans League, and I know you guys are all paying attention, but you might miss some of my intros. This is Silver League now. So we're going back and forth. We'll have more gold playoffs, but we've got silver playoffs here today. And we've got a unique scenario here because Combito, we just looked, started playing the game a couple years ago, got very good, very, very fast, and is a young Mexican player who I think has a lot of potential. Literally was like 1,700 ELO 2 years ago, or like 3 years ago, or something like that. Doesn't have much tournament experience compared to most players, and I think the sky's the limit for him. I think something like Titans League is perfect for a player like Combito. To move into gold, which would be winning this best of 7, would be amazing, and pretty much confirming my point that he's a really talented player. Now, here in the blue, we've got Antagonist. Antagonist is also a younger player, not quite as young, has been playing the game for about 5 or 6 years. So it's not this like rise from over the last year or two. But the thing is, the last couple of years, he's had some really nice tournament results. So he's played in like events like Sudden Disaster, A tier, S tier, has had some decent results, has been earning some money, plays a lot of tournaments with the Sal's team. And so the experience is there for Antagonist. There's been more high pressure situations where one player has where you have a nervous moment and you have to make or break it, right? So I just think that for that reason, Antagonist should maybe be the favorite because that's typically how it goes. But it's still unique because it's not like this veteran of AoE 2 over here for Antagonist. So Vietnamese for Antagonist. We got Shu for Combito. Map is Quarry. Both players started with pushing in the deer. We've seen a lot of the deer pushing into 2 militia on this map. So that does feel like the meta. Though Antagonist only has 3 on wood at the moment. So maybe Antagonist won't play to counter that. Yeah, we've got Antagonist from Russia. We've got Combito from Mexico. And Combito, I know is decently prepared for this. And I don't know, man. Every time I watch this player play, he continues to impress me more. Some of the wins that he's able to pull out when he's under a lot of pressure is really impressive. I think both players are similar in that they could be very good on aggressive maps like Arabia. So they could still be fast, but they can use that speed defensively and oftentimes will lean towards more defensive maps, which is rare. Usually fast players like open maps, slow players like closed maps. Not with some of these newer players. Maybe that's the way, man. Maybe that's the game changing a little bit. I'm not too sure on the explanation behind that. This would be considered more of like a closed, open-ish map. It's like a mix because you can easily wall the middle. It can become very defensive with good players in the later stages. But there's the barracks for Antagonist. Guys, how's the audio today? Game sound and everything. Is it fine? Surprised Combito ended up going for the mill here, to be honest. I thought he would go for the barracks, which we're seeing from Antagonist. Okay, everything's good? Cool. Thank you. But, like, this map there's just certain rule sets for the high level, right? And for the high level, it's you defend from the hill, you wall through the middle. Combito still has not clicked up to Feudal Age, but he's gone for the walls in front of the berries towards the TC. We'll probably click up here in a second, and he's just able to push in that final deer here. Yeah, I'm asking because I adjusted my my audio levels a little bit. I found the game sounds were not nearly as loud as I would have liked. But they were, for me, in my ears, with the way my audio is mixed, dude, he's taking some big risks here. If there's militia here, he's got to be careful. But it was completely fine. So now the audio is like lower in my ears, which made me paranoid. Good to hear things are fine. Combito just going for the walls. See, that drush I talked about earlier, the little 2 militia play, that would have potentially denied these walls. And we will have militia on the way. And Antagonist will probably not be able to do too much damage there. Now, there's no loom for that villager. Combito is yet to move out with his scout, and that villager should be fine. Combito will be pretty happy with this, but I don't think he realizes the antagonist will actually be feudal age a little bit faster than him. So remember, you do have the reeds on the side, which the players can chop. That is an aspect of this map. And there is the barracks. See, people on YouTube chat asking about ads. Just like Twitch, they'll run if they're not run like enough in between games. But their ad run system for live streaming is not nearly as easy for me to manage as a streamer. So I do try and click to run ads in between games, but they have some auto run aspect of it. So on both platforms, I try my best. But yeah, I don't have much more info for you there. But it's the same deal as on Twitch. You know, if you're subscribed, you shouldn't get the ads, I believe. But somebody spammed in caps there and was quite aggressive. Well, I'll do my best as always. Man-at-Arms are pathing around here, but Combito doesn't know. Oh my... What's happening? Oh my god, you don't expect the Man-at-Arms to ever run around there. I don't think that was the plan for Antagonist, but his units pathed around. At game number 1, remember, the nerves could be extremely high. But Combito playing defensive, and the units actually can run through now. So he saves the villagers, but now the Man-at-Arms can loop around. Not what he would have wanted. Will have the archery range. We'll just make some skirmishers here, but now needs to full wall everything here in the back. The Antagonist getting the wood upgrade, seeding some farms. We'll have an archer or two to follow it up. The thing is it's unlikely you can do a lot of follow-up damage because the walls are still here. And Combito's literally he's playing as defensive as possible. He doesn't feel like this is going to be a game that is going to end quickly. He's just going to get eco upgrades and play in towards skirms. I think there's some nerves right now. And I think it's just safer to just play full walls and a couple skirmishers here in this matchup. Shu and Vietnamese both have very good range units. So we probably could end up seeing skirms. But I said this, in the silver playoffs, with the lack of experience here, you'd expect it's not going to be quite to the level of the gold playoffs from yesterday. The start of the sets yesterday were crazy aggressive. Like, people were going full send. Here we just got Quarry, game 1, chill, relaxed. A T90, what does it take to repair a building? The repair cost on the building is based on the cost of the building. I don't have the exact numbers for you, but essentially the more expensive the building, the more wood you're investing into repairing it. Or any resource, whatever it would be. So a scout went down over here for Combito. Antagonist will be happy with that. I think Antagonist just needs to wall here. I think you see how your opponent's playing. Your opponent's making skirms. You don't want those skirms to get into your base. Good farming eco here, but I think it'd be a little bit foolish to allow any type of counterattack. But I don't think Combito's going to counterattack. I think he's just going to chill. Both players have good civs to chill, and the Shu gets some food income from their wood. That was nerfed a couple times, I think, since the civ's been introduced. But the double lumber camp approach with a civ that gives you some food income there is really good. Already his resources are looking very nice here. T90, do silver players tend to pick different civs for gold and platinum players? Yeah, I would say to some extent, yes. A civilization that stands out to me as a civ that gold players pick a lot, that platinum players haven't, is Khmer. But in general, everyone's still really high level. There's not a big difference in their elos. It's just experience levels. So I wouldn't say there's any major standouts overall. Blacksmith and house there for Combito, but he knows he's completely fine. And now it's like, okay, while we're not in Imp yet, why does someone pick the Shu? And I think, well, okay, class, for those that have been paying attention this season, hopefully you've done your homework now, because we got extra credit, remember that. What has been the dominating unit of choice in the late game on Quarry, class? What are people playing towards? I hope you've been paying attention. I've been very clear this year on how important we're weighing the grading. No, not skirms. No, not skirms. Bombard cannons. Yes. Yes. I can see who's been paying attention, class. Yeah, bombard cannons. So we've seen Turks picked here because Turks with the bombard cannons. We've seen Ethiopians picked here because of the Torsen engine bombard cannons. We've seen a lot of bombard cannon civs. And so I think you pick the Shu because you have good economy. You have cheap range units, which you guys are right. There's been a lot of good range units as well. And you have traction trebs. And traction trebs you can make immediately an early imp. And they outrange bombard cannons, which you have to research chemistry to wait for. So I think traction treb civs here are very strong. I think there's some logic to it. Now, a tiny detail if you're going to boom. Combito built outposts. So he doesn't have the stone at the moment. And interesting, he's actually going to add a stable. But no stone available for him to build the additional TC. This villager's already collecting the 10 stone. Just collect the 10 stone, walk back to your base. Then you'll have it for the 2 town centers. I'm guessing as the skirms clear up the units there, Combito still has to respect that there could be some big army play from Antagonist. Antagonist isn't doing any of that. Antagonist made these 2 archers and then stopped. I think he might even just put 1 skirm in the range and then just leave it there, just to mind game. Because if you see the flag, you have to respect it could be big numbers. We might even see Antagonist buy stone and go for an immediate 4 TC boom. But yeah, there's nothing that gets you super excited about this first game just because it's a very boomy map and a very standard approach. But talk about playing safe here from Combito. 2nd town center, 3rd town center. It's been, apart from that little issue there at the start of Fuel Age, it's been very solid. But yeah, that extra skirm in the range is so good. I love stuff like that. Because now Combito's thinking, oh man, he might go skirms. Combito knows he's being greedy with the boom, but he's going to think that his opponent might go aggressive here. Also, does have an outpost over here, if you're wondering. Never built an outpost over here. And Antagonist is just going to put his archer over there to see if the opponent chops through, and the archer's there too. But yeah, 2nd, 3rd, 4th town center for Antagonist. Wood upgrade, bow saw, handcart coming in even. I mean, only Vietnamese can do this. Eco upgrades costing no wood and researching faster makes this very strong. So this is going to be a big boom. Big economies. And I guess the Vil lead will probably be there for Combito for a while. But eventually Antagonist will catch up. Since we don't have a ton else going on, we just have some relics coming in from Combito. I want to show the draft again for anyone who just got here. Check this out. This is the draft for the series. Look at the picks. We have Coast Arena for Combito. Seychelles. We've got like those 2 maps, which are pretty big, expansive, long-term maps. And then look at Antagonist. Zimbabwe, Bypass, and Toulouse. All of our wall maps, all of our big, boomy maps are picked by both players. That just doesn't happen. Like, typically, it's like one guy likes the closed maps and the other guy likes the open maps. And it's like, all right, can the aggressive nerd kill the boomy defensive guy? No, both these guys are very comfortable in this style. So, trying to make this fun. Villager here that was building the outpost gets pushed away. But yes, we might have a long day of AoE2, guys. Which, no complaints for me. I'm happy with that. A Combito snagging the relics from the middle. We'll have 3 relics. There's also 1 relic on the side for the players, so Combito can get 4. So it'd be 4-1. And already ahead with 700 resources collected. This is good, though. It's a good time. Good time to... We're streaming on another platform. We've got people watching players they've never seen before. I'm completely fine with hanging out with you guys, so... But just low-risk AoE2. Biggest moments of their careers, perhaps. And obviously the pressure of everyone watching. I do think these types of games are better for the nerfs. Sometimes the super nervous players will actually try and do too much here. I think we saw that from Margugu yesterday on the map. Like, really trying to be aggressive. Actually, no, it wasn't Margugu yesterday. It was in the Margugu Kingston series in gold, I think, is where... Kingston just kind of sat back and played defensive and eventually worked out for him, so. T90, we're in Zimbabwe and Toulouse maps in Stronghold Frenzy. Antagonist won that tournament. I think they might have been featured, yeah. That's a really nice detail. Yeah, Antagonist has had some really nice results, not in S tier tournaments, but in like B and C tier tournaments, and yeah, he's got so much more experience than Combito. Combito has very little experience, but he feels like he belongs here. He feels like he belongs at this level, truthfully. Look at the resource balance here, guys. University's coming up now. And the second you're an imp, you can make traction traps. I mean, the game plan is set. This could be very strong. He didn't get this relic for whatever reason, which kind of bothers me. But you still have nice relic count, and he actually drops another TC. What's up, Zax? Good morning. Ragnar, hello. Thanks for the 5 gifted. And, yeah, this blue player Antagonist is not the old classic player named Lan from Spain. So, this poor Lan. He was named Lan, and then he tried to do a rebrand and name himself Antagonist. And everyone was like, who is that? And we would just say, it's Lan. And so he just went back to naming himself Lan. And then Antagonist actually is the name of a newer player now. So Lan doesn't really play the game too much anymore. I think he's pretty much retired. But no, this is not the same player. Antagonist is a great player name. I love that. It's a sick player name. So Skirmisher's just looking around for Combito. This is where he might start to think about actually pushing out a little bit. Imp is on the way for both. Castle now for Antagonist. But remember, if you want to go bombard cannons here, bombard cannons could be kind of problematic. And hold up a second. What? Infantry armor? Are we going to see... white feather guards? Double siege workshop for Combito. One of my biggest pet peeves about like this civilization, and honestly it's not a big deal, but they're white feather guards, and when you get elite, the feather changes to red. Why is it not a bigger white feather, devs? Why does it have to change to red? I don't like that. But anyways, it's not that big a deal. But, you know, it ruins the consistency. So, yeah, literally broken. But it's all good. Triple siege workshop, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the thinking is white feather guards or just getting the upgrades ahead of time here because you can and it's cheap. Because now we see the ranged upgrades, too. I would say open skirms first. But I guess if you're going to play against Vietnamese, you have to know Vietnamese have the superior ranged units. So playing into your own skirms is probably not ideal. There's one traction trap, there's 2, there's 3 in queue, and Combito's already up. This is basically 2 minutes of making a 14 range siege weapon. Playing towards traction traps is actually insane here. It is a great call, and wow, he is making a couple traction traps. T90, no, it's not red. It changes to the color of the player. Okay, well, it's not white. That's my point. I don't know, Slump, I don't know enough to confirm that. But it's all I know is it doesn't stay white anymore. It's not changed to the color of the player guard. It's white feather guard. Again, I admit, this is a stupid thing to be annoyed by. Antagonist comes out with the Imperial skirms and sees the white feather guards. Yeah, upgrades are still coming in for them. But yeah, there they go, waddling around with their little white feather. 3 traction traps already. That castle from Combito will secure the golds. And good luck against the traction traps here now, Antagonist. Now, there's other tiny details to mention here. So, this unique tech can be helpful if you're going for range units. It's pretty expensive, though, and it doesn't help the traction traps. Don't confuse it with the Wu unique tech, which gives the traction traps extra projectiles. This one's nice. That one is realistic if you're making white feather guards. But yeah, Antagonist is already under a bit of pressure here, and he wants to use his skirm somewhere, but he can't because the castle spots and the traction traps are out. It's a really uncomfortable position. I think Antagonist doesn't really know what to do since the traction traps have hit him this quickly. It will be a mix of skirms and white feather guards for Combito here. And he's just using the traction trebs to slowly take down the buildings. Barracks is down. House is going down. We see barracks for Antagonist, so he's going to try Fire Lancers, which I don't think was his game plan at all. But I think it's a unit that is good enough with the Vietnamese to maybe give it a try here. Because your ranged units are completely neutralized by traction trebs. You can't even get close to them. And even if Vietnamese had good monks, you can't convert them easily because they have more range than monks as well. This is nice, though. Bop. Trebuchets says, screw you, traction trebuchet. Regular trebuchets do have more range. The Combito didn't really continue to mass them, which was surprising. It's like he used the threat of the first few to force a reaction, and then he's been focusing on its economy. Great economy, though. 44 on food, guys. And he will outpost the side here just to confirm there's no sneaky action. We got stone walls from Antagonist. Remember, 4 relics for Combito. Also available golds in the middle. And we still haven't seen the white feather guards get upgraded yet to elite. Okay, so let's see. I guess in this case, Combito is red. But we can really zoom in on the feathers here, guys. They do have high pierce armor, but I'm not really convinced that that's... going to be enough against the Vietnamese Fire Lancers, too. Antagonist has been patient. Antagonist takes the castle down. And this fight is all being taken before the white feather guards are upgraded. Here we go. Yep, no longer white feathers. Real disappointing. But, I mean, it does look kind of cool. It's elite now. But you just double check their stats. They have 100 HP, only 8 base attack, only 3 melee armor. They do cost food and you do need castles. Fire Lancers cost wood and gold. Fire Lancers, you just need barracks. So, I still think it gets... You got that castle. I think it's never going to be that easy again now that Combito is making more traction trebs. And the traction trebs can also be used against the units. Let's not forget that. Yeah, Antagonist clearly wants to make a play for a castle here. But I'm not so sure. I think he's going to dive. He's going to take the risk for it. Yeah, it has to back away. I think there's enough range units there with the white feather guards in front to hold against the Fire Lancers. And then the traction trebs could take the trebuchets. I don't know. They're still feeling it out. They're still trying to get a gauge. But yeah, the traction trebs are there. Antagonist has to show patience here. And the trebs fully unpacked as well. So it takes a second to repack them. Honestly, Combito didn't consistently fire on them. But again, there's nerves here. And there's a lot to play for. The other thing we could actually see and should see, guys, is the hero. And you guys could give me your thoughts on heroes existing in a game for a couple civs, only for the Three Kingdoms DLC. I mean, I was never very pro adding heroes with, that cost 1,000 resources to... Not a fan. But I'm a fan of winning. And I think for Combito, he absolutely should do it here. And there is Liu Bei. Bei is about to arrive. So this hero, it costs, you can only make one of them. 500 food and 500 gold, I think. And it regenerates the units in the group. Wait, is it the regenerate one or attack? There's attack speed, movement, regenerate. I think it's regenerate. It's got to be regenerate. So, but that is combined with these units already. Do they not already have a regen tech? No, they gain additional HP. Yeah, so where is Liu at? Oh my god. Okay, here he goes. So, yeah, this unit will start healing the whole group. It's very strong. 200 population for both. Very hard to control, though. AoE 2 players are not used to this. But you see the HP upticking here? So, yeah, there's the Liu Bei. The Wu, the Shu, and the Wei get a hero. And longtime AoE 2 fans, most of them, usually not a very big fan of this. But in a boomy map, you can actually get to it. And we'll try to keep a close eye on him to see if he's there. But it's a pretty wide radius, so... The healing is happening even all the way over here. So sitting the hero there is more than fine. The thing that's sneaky good about the Fire Lancers, guys, is how cheap they are. I don't think people realize just how discounted they are. I don't actually know the exact cost. but I played with them, and it feels like you can spam them so easily. A Combito loses... Oh, man, he snipes 2 bombard cannons, and he goes into the fight here. He actually was doing a stand ground patrol to dodge projectiles there for a second. And, I mean, the white feather guards are healing behind this. You then have the traction trebs, which were still really tough to engage into. And there's still skirmishers behind, and it just doesn't feel like Combito can be broken here if he continues this. We'll see. Antagonist has his own trebs still positioned in the back, but his units are just getting chewed through right now. And again, the HP could still uptick if the hero moves up a little bit more here. But white feather guards were absolutely the right play. And I can count on... I can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen white feather guards in AoE2 tournaments. It is not something that's been frequent. But the unit seems to be very strong here. Again, you get beefy HP. Just by making more units and putting them in the group, you get more HP. So some of these units are up to 115, 120 HP. And then you also have the healing, and then you have the traction trebs. And look at how much gold he has in the bank right now. Vietnamese are one of the best late-game civs in the game, but apparently the Shu can beat it. And I think for Combito, it was always part of his plan. It's why he played so defensive at the start. He had confidence in it. Really should be sniping the trebs right now with the white feather guards, though. And Antagonist has not really had any easy answers at any point in this game. And he will eventually just run out of gold. He can't take the middle gold in the quarry. He doesn't have the relics. It's looking desperate now. He needs to break this castle. If he has a chance here, if he can re-pop up and break this castle, I think he's got chances. Yeah, and he understands. He's like, okay, I need to do something wild here. Drop my own castle. The traction traps will probably fire onto the castle or the bombard cannons. Okay, they go for the bombard cannons. If the castle completes, that is protection against the army that's incoming. And while traction traps do have the range, they still don't destroy buildings as quickly as bombard cannons or regular trebs. I mean, Antagonist will take down the castle. So that's good. He's still taking the fights. His castle will complete with good upgrades. So maybe Combito starts to struggle here. The hero's still in there. And now we have man-at-arms for Combito. And I think, guys, Combito may be lacking faith in the white feather guard. I'm not sure why he's clicking man-at-arms. But yeah, clearly panics a little bit there. I'd like to see him try and use the traction trap to take down the woodline here, and then just get white feather guards into the back. I feel like that's something that with experience you could think of. I don't even know about Shu's champion line. Okay, they do get champion. So that's an option. And champion against white feather guards should be, or sorry, against the fire lancers should be pretty decent. Traction trap snipe the bombard cannon there. Antagonist start to the fight was very strong. But now the white feather guards are here, and I still think the white feather guards beat the fire lancers. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, man. It's just the way the game was going, it looked so much better for Combito, but now I'm not sure. This is so awkward to fight in this weird condensed area like this. I like the tower from Combito. I think guard tower upgrade would be needed. Can't let Antagonist take that gold. Antagonist has, yeah, no gold in his base. No gold. So if he has no gold, and he's making fire lancers and trebs, not exactly going to last all that long, is it? Units here are all regening back to full health. Fire lancers have to go in. Traction trebs are just... When you have a smart player controlling traction trebs on a map like this, they feel impossible to beat. Does anyone remember the game in Platinum? It was like round 1 or round 2 where a player picked Wu for traction trebs. They get the additional projectiles. I really like the idea behind it. I think the Wu ended up losing there. I think that was against Turks, though. And Turks they can compete because they have the 14 range cannons. Yeah, there should be no chance for the fire lancers there. This is over. The white feather guards will destroy. Too big of numbers there. There's also champions mixed in. The traction trebs behind will take the trebuchets from Antagonist. Antagonist eco in the middle will go down. He has no gold to spam more fire lancers. He just had no clue what to make here. Maybe fire lancer was his best option. You could have maybe tried elephants. But, like, elephants are really costly. It becomes really transparent, becomes very obvious when your opponent's going elephants. It takes so much longer to get into them. I think from the start, Combito, he just chilled out. He just walled up. He didn't do anything special except, boom, have amazing eco. He had 78 on food when the game ended, by the way. And he was just patient. So, again, this player, he's serious. Antagonist might have more tournament cash under his belt and have better tournament results. But, yeah, good start for Combito there. Calms the nerves if there were any. 30K food collected and 18K gold collected as well. And that is a really nice draft pick there to pick up the shoe. I'm inclined to let him cook. Like, this is very unique. Welcome, everybody. So, again, I'm going to throw up the draft here. I think I didn't do the thing, so the draft is going to be the other way around. I apologize. But I'll still just show you. So, the civs for Antagonist are on the right and Combito on the left. But basically, the reason I bring it up is because all the civs I would have expected Combito to pick here, he did not pick. So, and in game number 1 as well, he went for the shoe. And it looked really good. And his shoe was a very late pick. He goes Hindustanis now. He skips over all those other civs. So, Hindustanis on Zimbabwe. We have Bohemians for Antagonists. We know how good the Bohemians are. Hindustani late game is very good. But you still don't pick them on a lot of closed maps. Antagonist comes out with the Vil to get the elephant early. Oh, boy. It does have Loom coming in, but Combito knows that there's the hunt here. And he sees the Vil. And did he even pay attention to that? Oh, my God. He missed it. Just passing. He was there to block this, I'm sure, and was looking away. And there goes the hunt. So Antagonist will get the rhino. Antagonist will get the elephant. Everything's good. And then we got a weird little buffalo over here from Combito. Weird start. Not sure exactly what he was thinking, but he is going to come over here and get his own rhino. And he didn't have to get Loom, so he has the additional Vil. It's crazy we're at that level where someone gets Loom early, and you're like, oh no, he's down a villager, but he is for now. Antagonist is up the food, though. And then the scouts have found each other here. So, remember, you have the 2 boars in your base, and then you also have all the hunt on the outside. We'll see if villagers come back out. I think there's arguments for or against it. It's very risky, of course, when the opponent's scout is out there. And Antagonist realizes that the rhino's been brought in. So, has a decision to make on if he wants to stay here with his scout to block. I think it will depend on what he scouts out here. If he scouts more elephants, maybe he ends up bringing the Vil. And, ooh, nice hits for Combito. He actually gets 2 hits. That's very nice. And Combito's bringing a Vil. Now, guys, we always have had the crocodiles off to the side of the river here. So, realistically, players should know that. But, you know, he hasn't scouted it. And, okay, there's a crocodile and you don't have Loom. That's really bad. That's really bad. Quick walls need to happen. That's really bad. Okay, de-aggroes it with the house. De-aggroes it with the house. Quick walls. Would also be bad if the crocodile turns around and attacks the scout, though. Because now your scout's weaker. Oof, that's not what you want either. And Combito's scout has been damaged by the croc big time. Yikes. But, I mean, the villager's alive, and maybe Antagonist won't realize. I don't think Antagonist has any clue, but Scout is still lurking around. Okay, he's going for it. And Antagonist sees the elephant moving, and the villager still doesn't have Loom. And now the Scout is weak from before. He's de-aggroing it with the house. No Loom is crazy risky. Look, Antagonist just realized his Scout is weak. Because before Antagonist had the weaker Scout. This is so ballsy, dude. It should not do this with no Loom. You shouldn't do this with no Loom. You shouldn't do this if your opponent's scout is here. You can't wall in this terrain. That villager's dead. I don't know what Combito was thinking there. I think you just have to chill. And oh my, bro, best of 7 playoff to go to gold, and you GG there, dude. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. He actually resigned. He pulled the Twitch chat. Combito is one with Twitch chat, and he calls the GG. Wait. We missed a detail. we missed a detail. While that was all happening, another villager had died. So he lost 2 villagers. Oh, man. Well, that's frustrating. He calls the GG. He taps out. The wildlife won. Game 1 goes to Combito. Game 2 goes to Antagonist. Combito, I've played him in ranked, and he's had a lot of early GGs, so that's not necessarily a new thing for him. But I've seen people early GG, and I feel like that. I feel like that can grow into something more. Or things go wrong throughout a game. Games get a bit more back and forth. Like game 1, for example. He was pretty much ahead the entire game. I do wonder now, if we have these games where things are really tightly contested, will Combito have the fight, you know? So, we'll see. Combito probably won't be losing any villagers in Dark Age here. He's got the Japanese. And then we have the Vikings for Antagonist. This map is Seychelles, which is a really difficult map to play. You have a lot that you can manage here. You've got the different water aspects with the fish and the oysters if you want to take gold instead of food. You also have the water on the inside, which I just showed you, and the water on the outside. And you start with the transport ship on the outside ring. So, yeah, a lot to manage. Japanese, you would almost always expect to play more of the land approach here, I imagine, because of their early flexibility. Typically, Japanese will open with man-at-arms. Japanese also have really strong fish against any pressure. Vikings, though, I think can compete there, and Vikings also are better than they used to be because you can make fire ships and the new Hawks now. So the key here is going to be scouting from both players. And there's actually no deer to push on this map, guys. So the scout will be moving around looking at various aspects. Where to dock, where's the opponent docking, and then you also use the transport on the outside to do that. So the T90, that was probably the fastest game of the playoffs so far. Yeah, it wasn't the fastest game of the season, though. We had multiple games faster than that. We have had some early resigns on the previous map. But, I mean, it was also, like, early group stage, Silver League, player who ends up getting relegated, you know? Like, it wasn't, like, playoff caliber. But it's a best of 7. Maybe for Combito, he just thought, whatever. Again, I disagree. Some people brought up maybe it's good for your mentals. Maybe it's good for your stamina to just call it. That's not where I stand on it, but we move on, right? Combito, middle dock. And Antagonist will do the same. Vikings would never have gone middle dock before the water changes. Now that they can go Hawks and Fires, can actually be competitive in the middle ponds. And hopefully Combito is aware of that, scouting for that, which I believe he should be. T90, would your strats change after an early GG like that? Strategies? You mean in the future games? No. No, I don't think so. Maybe if you continue to play the game, you change your approach a little bit if you have a civ that's flexible enough. But I think he picked Hindustanis for just the straight boom and the late game, which would have already been a struggle against Bohemians. So it could have been a dual-purpose resign. He's like, I'm down 2 vills, and also I'm against Bohemians. So, but yeah, I don't think your strat changed for the rest of the series. Both these players are very well prepped, very solid overall. You don't change anything here. If you start changing your strategies because one thing happens in one game, you're probably not good enough to win the best of 7, right? You have to be super consistent. Yeah, so Doc's been fouled by Combito. You look at the scouting end from Antagonist, same deal. He does run underneath the town center, which got really dangerous there for a second. The garrison wasn't as quick as it could have been for Combito. Ends up being a nice error avoided there for Antagonist. Hurricane says, good for stamina, question mark? What even is that? Is he on a treadmill powering his PC? We gamers playing 8 hours per day. Not everybody, apparently. Not everybody, apparently. But yeah, maybe there's maybe he's only got so many mice for the wheel to keep his PCs running today. Combito will go for the second lumber camp, and Combito will be up. Combito's on the way to Feudal Age a little bit faster here. Does have loom. Does get some nice hit there on the scout. This is a very clean build. And what I like about the Japanese here is you can just place one cheap mill here and get so much food. It's a really nice aspect of this map. But it is kind of... I said man-at-arms earlier. It is relatively tricky to go Man-at-Arms because you can't push the deer and you don't want to invest into the early mills. So, but Combito does this a lot. I played him and he likes his fast feudal times. He did the exact same thing in the previous game, by the way. I was a bit different in the previous game because he scouted his opponent here. But he just believes his build is going to be faster. He knows his opponent's scout is weak, and he's just going to chase it down. And if there will be militia coming in, he'll react to it. But yeah, the logic is kill that starting scout, get an advantage. We have a double dock approach from Combito, and it will be double dock approach from Antagonist. So it's about to get very water heavy in the middle. The scout should be able to get decent damage here. You have a decision to make if you're Antagonist. I think you want to use your villager here to help out. Losing your scout is pretty painful on a hybrid map. Yeah, so he's got the villager there. Scout's super weak. Oh, garrison the dock, of course. And now there can be arrows from the dock, and the scout survives. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. 3 docks, actually. 3 docks. It's going to be 3 docks against 3. So, similar bonuses for the water. The Japanese have the stronger fishing ships, but Combito has the Hawks a little bit faster. If this was old water balance and it was fire v fire, Antagonist could maybe immediately lose fish, but now he can just hop inside of his docks. So, you have the defensive potential now. Which means they're really going to be at a stalemate here, right? Like, neither player should really overtake the other in water that easily. Combito's going to queue up a demo here. I'm still not convinced. I feel like demos are kind of bad now. So I'm surprised to see him make the demo, but maybe he knows something that I don't know. Fishing ship needs to be saved. It's not being saved. And the Hulk... Oh, that's unfortunate. A fishing ship gets saved in the end. Here comes the demo. Let's see how the demo does. Remember, they're more expensive than they used to be. And Antagonist said, let's just let that demo hit every single ship. So he gave the best demo possible. I think he tried to micro that. I'm not entirely sure, but... I mean, even still, though, I'm not sure if the demo is necessarily worth it there. He didn't kill anything. And still, there's only 2 ships that are below half HP. And Barracks comes up for Combito. Scout is still scouting around for him. Also, we'll go for a dock on the backside. Probably to sneak up some fishing ships. I think this is really nice recognition from Combito. Look, he's not even producing from his ships anymore. Because he's like, I can garrison. Go ahead. Overproduce on water. It's fine. Antagonist is going nuts. But maybe it's too early. Like, maybe you do still need some production here because just because you can garrison your fishing ships doesn't mean they're going to work. Yeah, so Antagonist sees it. Antagonist also sees the archer range, too. So Antagonist can potentially win on water, and then he can defend on land with his own barracks and archer range. Yeah, there's the demo. Okay, so another nice demo hit. Combito still playing very defensive. I think it's important that Antagonist notices this archer range switch. Combito has the double mill up, so that's a lot of food income, plus can add fishing ships on the outside in theory, and is still fishing with these fishing ships. So, I don't know. I'm looking at the amount on food right now. In terms of the race for Castle Age, this should be pretty good for Combito. And he still hasn't lost any economy. And can he get the balance right? He continues to hope for good demos. That is a lot of Hulks right there. It feels really difficult to ever switch to galleys in close quarters. That's where galleys should be good now, is against the Hulks. Maybe what you should do is you should shift your fishing ships over to these docks because there's 2 next to each other. But yeah, the fishing ships are at least working for Antagonist. Goes for the archer range, goes for the blacksmith. Combito only made 1 skirm, so he didn't actually produce too much. Almost feels like he was expecting there to be archers from the opponent, and so he just added the skirm just in case. Regals, thanks for the prime. What's up, Big Fat Smelly? Thank you. Thank you, Quiet Squirrel. Honestly, I think Combito's done a really nice job here. I was not certain on how it would play out, but he's made way less than his opponent. He still has fishing ships working. He's also added the fishing ships on the backside. His resources are looking good for Castle Age. So, Your traditional water approach would just be outspam the opponent and make the same type of ship. That hasn't worked for Antagonist. He is going to make galleys now, which is maybe what you have to do now. And once you have a couple galleys, I think this approach will no longer work. But Combito's on the way up. This is a significant difference in Castle Age time. I think Antagonist has been waiting for some army. Nobody just makes an early archer range and goes one skirm. That's all mind games, though. Also, like, Antagonist will see the scout. He's like, oh, man, he must be sneaking archers or something. There will be paranoia here. Combito's just like, no, actually, I'm good. I'm just going to be in Castle Age faster than you. And unlock some options there. I'm not really sure what you do beyond a second TC. But still, a second town center is not bad. And again, fishing ships on the outside, also pretty sneaky and helpful here. It's so funny. We have chatters that are like, some chatters are like, man, I've been really pleasantly surprised with the water rework. And then next message, the new water rework is so stupid. Changing something in AoE2 is, as you know, that's been around for 20 plus years, is always going to have such a wide mix. I'm still not entirely sure. Like, I think the biggest thing for me, honestly, is the fishing ship garrison. I think the fishing ship garrison at a high level, we're going to see a lot more of this. Like, you know how it is with high-level players in AoE2. Defense, defense, defense. The whole garrison thing, the amount of arrows that fire from the docks, maybe is a bit much. I don't know. The ideas behind the balance, though, I kind of like. But I think we've just seen instances where this is starting to take hold a little bit. And I think it can be also very unfun. It's just not fun to be, like, playing up against docks garrisoned. But I think they're on to something, at least. Medium warships upgrade coming in for Combito. Stonewalls from Antagonist. He's still completely paranoid. He thinks his opponent is going to play crossbow timing to kill him when his opponent has just made a couple defensive skirms. And maybe now Combito can win water. He sees galleys and he's switching into fires now. And yeah, I think the fires are going to completely wreck the galleys. We just saw him lose his first fishing ship. Best of luck to Antagonist on recovering on water. Now, Hawks are the play against fires. But the demo can connect. And these are upgraded ships. So we got upgraded Hawks and upgraded fires from Combito. And Combito's fishing ships still can go back to work. Still is the fish on the outside. And now it's his turn to push the docks. Yeah, I don't actually like how there's a lot of water text in the university. I agree with that take. Mainly because I feel bad for the noobs out there who don't really get... They just like to research all the text in the game, and that means on maps that don't incorporate water, they're going to be doing that. But I think a lot of it... Change takes some getting used to. Combito clearly is up to date on this. And Combito will completely obliterate the water in the middle. Yeah, that arrow fire is not going to do enough. So, well played. But it's just a really unique approach because you thought he would play full army. But to be honest, he has just enough skirms where he needs them. So he's winning the water. He has skirms here. 12 fishing ships against soon 0. And yeah, that army moving out from Antagonist to do damage. Won't be able to do damage right away. Market comes up for Combito. Combito's resources are looking very nice if he wants to continue to upgrade skirms. I would expect elite skirm and then upgrades, which means Antagonist will either need siege or he'll need to go knights, which Vikings are not very good at. Yeah, Antagonist was just completely taken off guard by this. They both went 3 docks, and Combito didn't invest. And so now Antagonist will try and recover the water. I think he feels a little uncertain on what to do because the crossbows can't do much. The crossbows can't go this way, so that's smart. And Combito's scout and skirmishers are over on this side, so he might not see that. There's a lot of exposed eco here. It's actually the most important thing right now for Antagonist is getting value from these crossbows. But he shows his hand here. And Combito should now be able to think that that area is going to be exposed. And he's already sending the skirmishers back around home. So, I don't know on the timing there. The skirmishers will take a minute to get there. And we even have the melee upgrades. So, the Hawks are affected by the melee upgrades. So, that's why he's getting iron casting. I'm still very surprised, though. I'm surprised at how little reactions he's had to the potential of the crossbows coming through. I guess he is placing some houses to block off the position. And I'm surprised that he didn't go for more skirmisher upgrades. But I guess there's not a lot of upgrades on the crossbows either. But the amount of fishing ships is just insane. 16 fishing ships against 0. And this is Japanese as well. And yep, crossbows come in. Skirmishers will be here. And the skirms are there at the perfect time. Like, he's playing legit. The Hawk will get focused down. Crossbows look to escape, and the skirmishers are over on this side. Antagonist was never expecting the reposition there. He will actually get some potential for some value here with some kills, but highly doubt it. The skirms are there. Perfect job. Some quick walling from Combito could work, or you just fight it back with the Bills. Yeah, full clear. Combito is so far ahead right now. Really comes down to if Antagonist can retake water at the moment. Because it's 3 TCs versus 2. If Antagonist can retake water in the middle, and then now is aware that there's a dock on the outside, could go water on the outside too. This is where Vikings thrive. And, I mean, I love longboats in this situation. I don't even know, like, technically the fires should be good, but I think the Hawks are definitely not going to be good. And the longboats can then range a lot of things long-term here. And also, Combito has 9 of his fishing ships in the middle. I didn't realize that. I thought he added most of it on the outside. So, we'll see. Farm transitions need to happen now. 10 farms over here. We've got 9 on this side. We've got multiple town centers from Antagonist. So he will boom back into the game. We have stables from Combito, so he wants to go knights to counterattack. That's going to be the weakness for Antagonist. Is, oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 town centers? Well, he basically has no army. And he doesn't have a good civ that can make army against skirms. So he's making the siege probably just to kill off the skirms. I think that's also why Combito is playing knights, because he's expecting that there's going to be some siege around. The fishing ships are still out there for Combito in the middle. So they haven't been sniped yet. His docks are still standing, but he's not producing much. Scout comes through to look. Obviously, Antagonist doesn't have enough on food right now to be able to sustain production from these town centers. But, you know, over time, I'm sure he's hoping that that will be the case. And he is finding some good kills over here. But, yeah, when you're behind, sometimes you lean towards extremes, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. 5 TCs, big production in the middle. But Combito's farming economy and eco upgrades is just looking so nice right now. And now he'll be sending in the knights. But guys, this is something, so we're comparing the leagues. We had gold playoffs yesterday. It's silver today. Obviously, we've had playoff. We've had platinum, and we got to see the levels. You would never, ever, 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 ever see anyone in Platinum League go triple stable here. They would never do it. They'd go 1 stable. They'd invest as little as possible to maybe snipe a mangonel, and then they would save the rest of their res. But at this level, man, players are in, like, because of the pressure and because they're not quite as good with, like, getting as much value from low numbers of units, they send it, man. And so it can be really fun to watch. Like, that's a crazy amount of knights. He dives in, he snipes the mangonel, and he's bringing villagers forward as well. And now Antagonist is like, wait, what? This is for a castle drop. Villagers walk on by, and there's 2 town centers right there. If you can place a castle here, you need rip to the town centers. But there's also enough stone for Antagonist to potentially place a TC. There also will be some monks from Antagonist to potentially convert. And wow, Combito goes for it there. Well, I mean, it's still between 2 town centers. So that's fine. But this is kind of risky. I think Antagonist might need to build his own castle here, but it might be too late. He goes for the conversion. He lands an attack round, gets the conversion as well. We'll lose the monk, but that castle's at 60%. Well played from Combito. That is a lot of knights. He's getting +2 armor on the knights as well. Once the castle completes, Antagonist will not have a very good time here. But again, I think canceling that armor And just going Imperial Age for Trebs is probably the best play in this position. We'll see if Combito can still get a good Imperial Age time. When you see castle v castle like that, that's normally what you want, is Imp. And actually, he cancels the armor upgrade and he clicks up to Imp. Yeah, good recognition. And I just don't know. Antagonist has been so far behind ever since the water play. The Combito just did such a nice job getting to Castle Age. Now he researches the armor because he still has the knights. Just incredible macro. And this is what I find with him. When you watch his unit control, it's like, okay, sometimes he undermakes units. His unit control doesn't look stellar, but his macro is insane. And some of the best players in AoE too, you just look back to not however many military units they make, it's how good is their economy behind whatever they're doing. Ooh, hold up. Units could be... units are trapped here. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Oh, the whole knight army is trapped here. And now there's a mangonel on the hill. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, well, we'll see how long they survive, but best of luck here, knights. I mean, what a way to go. That's painful. What do you even do? Do you choose to join the other side? Your friends are going to kill you and be mad at you, but yeah, I guess you just run around with the knights and eventually you'll die to these rocks. Yikes. But technically, the longer you micro them, the better. Oh, bring the transport ship, Combito. Oh my god, there is a transport. He forgot about it, though. Don't worry, guys. He's just saving his stamina. He's not using the transport because he needs to save his stamina for the future games, you know? It's just next level from him. It's a stamina move. I'm sorry. I'm joking. We have a trebuchet here from Combito. We'll make a move against one castle. He still only has one castle of his own. So, 2 castles versus 1. I could definitely see Antagonist pushing this back. Samurai feel very good in this matchup. But, obviously, you kind of need your castles, right? And I think Antagonist has done just enough to give himself some chances. Obviously, those knights were basically a waste for Combito. He doesn't have the water in the middle. He doesn't really have any water control to speak of. And he's hard committing to this. Interesting. Japanese have the superior trebs. But that's after Katsupuruto. And Katsupuruto is not something you can research when you have all your castles here producing. I don't know. I feel like there's a chance that Antagonist can make this happen. He still has lots of stone and gold around the map. Is this whole eco here to repair? And if the Samurai were to dive, Samurai could technically struggle. And castles won't have ballistics. Obviously, Combito is just going to be as... hard focused on this as possible right now. And has 15 villagers to repair. But Antagonist can bring more. Antagonist didn't get masonry, though. Combito did. That's a nice detail there. So the buildings will be a bit stronger. And yeah, when you repair with your eco, yeah, technically you can, but you're still in an awkward spot with the villagers. So you have to be as careful as possible here. Both players have so much stone. We're going to be here for a minute. Behind this, the economy is still insane for Combito. So, do not forget that. In terms of tech switching or making different units, it's way more likely that he can do it. But, if he is committing to a unit that you need castles for, and he's losing his castles, that could be bad. Here he goes with the Samurai, though. He is the elite upgrade and armor on the way, but he's making the move before because times are getting desperate. Can he snipe the Trebs? That's all that matters here. Snipe the Trebs. Keep your castles up. Elite Samurai still not in. He snipes 2 Trebs, though. Oh, that's such a nasty choke point. But he takes down one of the castles. Elite Samurai will complete. That extra attack gives him enough to take down another Trebuchet. Still has 4 of his own. His castle's still being attacked, though. And I'm still worried for Combito. Elite Samurai is not an upgrade you want to get and then immediately lose your castles. And I think he's going to lose his castles. I think we're seeing, you know, why maybe some of the very top players take that more defensive option more often than not, because you can overextend when you have the lead. And if you overextend, you can give some momentum to the opponent. Combito needs to fall back now, dropping archer ranges. I'm guessing this might be heavy cav archer or something as the army choice. And the Trebs at least survive for now. But yeah, castle is definitely going to go down. He's actually just repairing this and waiting for conscription. So, okay. Someone in chat asking, can anyone cast? Yeah, any tournament. You can join the tournament Discord and you can read the handbook of what you need to do if you want to cast. Every tournament's open casting, man. Maybe not every one, but at least every tournament. Majority of tournaments. Give it a shot. Combito's got a ridiculous economy. But he will have to break Antagonist here. An Antagonist with a nice hold. Man, what a reversal this could be. If you win this game, after how brutal the start was, imagine the confidence boost. And then imagine how frustrated you could get if you lose this game if you're Combito. I don't think the players even realize how landslidey it's been. There's a 7,500 resource difference. But long term, I really like Vikings on the water. And so I think if Antagonist just camps for a while and plays full Navy, he's already got the Navy in the middle. He could play Navy on the outside. Could be strong. Crossbows are here. Combito's losing villagers. Vill count's ahead for Antagonist. Guys, Antagonist is still alive in this. And, like, not even close to being in the maxed out position that the Vikings could get to either. Vogsvagar could still come in. Elite Longbow could still come in. Eco upgrades that he hasn't had are being researched now. Combito wants to play land. This is a water map too. He's bringing the Cav Archers over to deal with the raids. Well, he was thinking about it anyways, and now he wants to take this castle. Honestly, though, saving the 4 Trebs was so nice. And he's just able to reposition them onto the left side so the longboats can't get there. I think that's enough Cav Archers. You could take down some of the longboats too, because the longboats don't have the upgrades. Yeah, that castle, losing your castles is so painful in the long games too, and Antagonist is just giving that one up. The Combito bounces right back. Well played. Also getting the warships upgrade to compete with water. Also already on two-handed swordsman as well. So could play like champion and Cav Archers on land. Antagonist will lose those docks as quickly as he built them as well. So in the really long term, we had a game on this map that went 3 hours, guys, in gold. Eventually, these islands become really important. There's wood and there's gold out there, and it's really annoying to have to go out there. But it is something that you have to do because you start to run out of res on the inner areas. So that's where some type of forward thinking could be helpful for transporting. I really like Japanese building towers there, to be honest. I think the towers on the islands make it really difficult for antagonists to move around. Cav Archers have come back here. The crossbows got more kills. The villager kills aren't that important at this stage. And the trebuchets now are met by skirmishers. So suddenly you're like, oh boy. I need something other than CA, but Combito's already 3 steps ahead. He already has two-handed swordsman researched. I really don't think Antagonist is expecting him to already have that. He'll find out the hard way. Also finding out... Speaking of finding out the hard way, Combito is finding out the hard way that longboats are really strong. They're elite now. And another castle for him just to protect the shoreline. He does have a couple upgraded hulks over on the outside. That's going to take some getting used to for me. I feel like I'm just always going to call them hulks. But the upgraded version of the hulk is a Carrack. But I'm just going to... It's a hulk for me. I don't know. Like, galley going to galleon at least is somewhat similar in terms of the terminology. We'll see. But we have docks coming up for Combito in the middle to retake the water. He's definitely throwing a lot of units. I think we're seeing the nerves for him. Again, not a player who's been around for very long. A very young player. Lacks the experience. And Antagonist, while he's still also a player who isn't a long-time pro, he's had great tournament results over the last couple years for a player his caliber. He moves in with Trebs. We have the defensive Trebs from Combito. This stone wall was really nice from Antagonist earlier, so the units can't get by. A lot of the Cav Archers are out of position now. But Combito uses his Trebs to take down the Treb and is holding for now. And I'm starting to hear the dinging of boats being created. But will it be enough? Still, I guess Bogsvagar isn't in yet. That upgrade needs to be researched ASAP for Antagonist. That affects the Arbalest upgrade he's getting and also the longboats. Fast fires should be very good here. If the numbers are even, and the numbers are even. And yeah, that's going to be fine, I think. It's so difficult for Antagonists. You can't micro them anymore, right? Like, having to go galleys in the middle of the map is so brutal. You just need to commit so much more to the production, and the fast fires are good in the low numbers. The Trebs are still holding for Combito. Antagonist still struggling. He's been struggling the entire game. We are getting some upgrades that apply to these ships right now, but the longboats still just going down to the fast fires. Combito needs to, he needs to break him, though. Taking some oysters here to steal the gold. The Antagonist has a dock on the outside, though. We'll kill those villagers. Antagonist is actually running out of wood. Did notice this as well from Combito, so he did make the first transport over there. And that's a big upgrade as well. Getting shipwright is one of the biggest upgrades in these really long games. Cheaper wood cost on the ships, and also building 50% faster. Unfortunately, only one castle for Combito, so we won't see more samurai, but he's going for champions. Champions are still nice. Not quite as hype, but still a good option. This is one of those maps where you almost wish you had 250 population space. Because there's so many different areas you need to put your pop. It's very, I guess a chess isn't a good comparison. But, like, I don't know. There must be something that comes to mind to describe it. You have the resources to spend, but you don't know where to go with your units. You're just stuck half the time. But you have to be very strategic on positioning. And I think for Combito, he clearly just has more access to resources here. He's mining gold, and Antagonist doesn't have any gold. There's no outside golds or stones being mined. He still can't break the position here. And I think eventually, if Combito could just get enough champions, the skirmishers can't hold that easily. It's been nice from Antagonist, though. He does have the arbs on the back. You know, skirms and cav archers and champions are making progress. It's what I say all the time. Early leads give you the opportunity to make mistakes. And so that big economic lead from Combito, yes, he didn't win the game immediately. Yes, he maybe threw a couple castles here. Maybe he overextended. But the core gameplay has still been so smooth. He's doing the right things here. And yeah, continuing to transport out here to find stone and wood. That will only make things better for him. We do have Hawks in the middle now from Antagonist. So Hawks will beat the fires. But my worry for Antagonist is he's actually losing ground on land now. Like, maybe he just dies on land. And also, if you just have Hawks, Hawks don't actually help in the land battles like the longboats were doing. Super weird fight here. As we have Trebs v Trebs and mixed in with Skirms. There's still no Cats. Oh no, Cats Bruto is in for Combito. So he can pack up and get out of here, but he loses 2 of them. Oof. I don't know, though. I still feel like the champions will do a pretty decent job there at running up the hill and killing off the army. Antagonist isn't going to want to tap out. Again, back to the fight conversation we had. We had one player resign when they lost 2 villagers in Dark Age, and they chose not to play it out. Antagonist has been behind for the majority of this game now, and he's still fighting like a maniac, you know? But fight doesn't necessarily win you games. That doesn't guarantee you a damn thing. In theory, if the games end up being very close, maybe you lean towards the player who's got the fight, but I think he does tap out now. He's out of resources. He's out of space in Combito. It was the mind games in the early game, guys. Like, that was just super smart. They both went triple dock. And then he just played patient. He said, oh, okay, well, we can garrison fishing ships now. I'm Japanese with the stronger fishing ships. Let's just relax. He invested all of his wood into the farms. And then Antagonist was expecting, just like everybody else, all these ships in the middle in Feudal Age, and they just never came. And then in Castle Age, he made the ships. In Castle Age, he won the map. And also, another detail I want to go back to, because this is off meta. What Combito did is just so uncommon. Antagonist scouted this range super early, right? Like, he looked at this, and he's like, oh, okay, nice. I'm going to win water, and then I'm going to defend on land, and that's how we'll play this. Dude, there was never any army forward. Like, there was even a moment. Like, look, Antagonist is stonewalling. I guess this is later in the game. But even earlier in the game, I remember there was a movement of Combito's scout here, and he got super paranoid with his army and moved it over here. And he was just expecting there to be an army coming in, and Combito just didn't do that. Combito just switched right back on the water. So, yeah, it's a tricky map. I think Combito played it well. And we'll see what happens in this best of 7, but it's been pretty close so far. All right, guys. I feel like to add some hype to the stream, I should remind everyone that I foolishly promised that I would give 50 subs to the stream if a queen or king dies in regicide games. Yesterday, both YouTube and Twitch chat called me out on that and gave video evidence of that promise. So, cat's out of the bag. This is regicide, queen edition. And if you lose the queens, you're dead. Game number 4. We've got Combito playing as the Burgundians. We've got Antagonist playing as the Khmer. This is Antagonist map. But again, the weird thing about these players is that they both really like the closed maps. So I don't think Combito is going to necessarily hate this. But we're 80 seconds into the game with 13 eco. There's a lot to manage here. There's a lot to focus on. It's way easier said than done. Even something as simple as bringing in your boars is actually rather complicated. It's very easy for the gate to close on your boar, and it's just really annoying. So, anyways, we've got the fish here in the middle. And players have chosen to go for docks and fishing ships here, but we haven't seen too many players go fast feudal into water. But in theory, that could be a strategy. Antagonist has gone for the Khmer, which is surprising. He's also deleting his gates. Bro, really? Is that a good play? I don't know about that. I feel like that's a misclick. I think he tried to delete a wall or something. Deleting a stone gate feels... I don't know. It feels like that might be something you regret at some point. He's queued up a lot of vills as well. My god. He's got 12 vills in queue. This can't be the strat, right? Is he nervous? Is he overqueuing vills? Scouts are engaging. Combito's on the way up. Combito is not going fast castle. Combito's shifting pretty much everything off of food over to wood, onto gold. You do have the wood out here. So Combito, I think, might end up making a hulk or two on the water. The king, or sorry, the queens, rather, are out and about scouting. It's a very fast unit that has lots of vision, so it is great to scout. Obviously, you don't want to take the risk and lose it. And then if you want stone, you have to chop through to the outside, which the queen is hoping to scout. But yeah, I can tell you now, because he already played his set, and there's no significance to it. But remember I was telling you guys I played a practice set with somebody on this, and they were using their king to scout the outside, and they were collecting buffaloes, and then I walled in their queen and killed it. That was me against stone, please. I was completely dead otherwise, and then I looked back, and I'm like, oh, look. And I said, are you forgetting something? he didn't laugh. He just loaded into the next game. He was like, let's go again, you know? But no, it did. His response actually was, have to get those buffaloes. That's what he said. I said, are you forgetting something? I kill. He goes, have to get those buffaloes. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a second. That's like 300, 300, 300. You start to do the math. You pull out the calculator, and you're like, wait, that's a lot of food. And then that's wood you don't need to invest into farms. So those buffaloes are rather important. Scouts are fighting. Fishing ships can garrison in the dock to fire arrows, though. So Combito needs to be very careful. He really wants the scout kill. Oh, and he's going for it. He gets it. And he gets the snipe, and now can he get away? Double dock from Antagonist. What is this build order, though? I guess he will have a really good Castle Age time. He can click up to Castle Age almost immediately. Maybe it's fine. That means the Queen can move around freely for now. And here come the Hawks from Combito's one dock. Villagers can't be garrisoned in the docks. The fishing ships can. But I think what you do is with the double dock, you just put... Yep, that's exactly it. With 2 docks next to each other now, you could just do this. And the opponent's ships are always getting hit. And it's super annoying for Combito. Oh, but he repositioned it. Did you see that? He repositioned it. And that wasn't getting hit. Antagonist is on the way up to Castle Age immediately after reaching Feudal Age. We'll drop the stable. So the plan is to add scouts for map control. And adapt. Which is more than fine. And then maybe we'll see some boats here. I don't know. Excuse me. T90, have there been any king/queen assassinations in TTL this season? So I think Antagonist actually killed a queen with a trebuchet shot at the start of Silver League. Or am I remembering somebody killed Viper's King on this map in another tournament? I think that was Target or something. But yeah, someone was using a treb. It was attacking the tower, right? And it hits the tower, and then the queen pops out and is standing there. And then the next treb shot hit the queen. So that was awesome. And then yesterday we actually had a snipe. A C-Dram play from Sorakuma. He C-Dram down the base. The king didn't know where to run, and it got sniped in the middle. So, has actually happened. But yeah, the little bit of water conflict in the middle. I think for Antagonist, the key here is just getting to Castle Age and getting town centers up as quickly as possible. Unfortunate, though, that since these trees have so much wood, he's not out yet. So any town center probably needs to go up more towards the middle. I don't really think it's worth it to invest that much more onto water. But since they're both there, they're both trying. Hey, Combito did snag the fishing lines upgrade. He has had bow saw this whole time. Combito could be through. Is the new ship junk? No, the new ship is Hulk. It's not junk. Like, junk is the name of another type of ship. And here come the scouts from Antagonist. He would love to find a gap in the back here, but that's already walled up. Players are pretty wise to that now to wall that up in case there's any army. And he might be looking to control the relics. And there's his second TC. Still some random water fights in the middle. But Combito's up 2-1. Has a 3-0 KD. Chad, I wanted to bring this up. How long have you been playing / watching AV2? Just give me a rough amount of time. And actually, follow-up question to that. How long have you been playing / watching AV2? And when you're playing games, how many thousands of people are watching you play? Okay, we got 27 years, we got 20 years, we got 8 years, we got 4 years, we got 12 years, we got 7 years. Okay, and then a lot of zeros. All right. Combito, a little over 2 years ago, was 1,600 elo. Now, he's 2,600 elo. He's sitting here playing in a best of 7 with 5,000 people minimum watching him play. Imagine, like, where do you think your emotions would be and your nerves would be? Like, that level of improvement, you played the game for so little compared to the rest of the community, and now you're here. I mean, that's pretty insane, right? So, the fact he's up 2-1, the fact he's playing pretty chill right now, says a lot about him. He drops the second TC. And, yeah, I mean, 4-1 KD. He did end up killing a scout there as I was adding that perspective. But I think that perspective's important, man. Because playing your best in Age is already really difficult. But then you factor in everything else. Like age, lack of experience and stuff. It's pretty wild. I've been really impressed. Adding the Flemish militia onto the map right now, I think, to look for the relics. Because he's expecting Antagonist to go for the relics. It will be 3 TCs for Antagonist, though, and that was his goal. Get to the town centers faster than the opponent, and he has that. But what he hasn't had is the fishing ships, at least. T90, remember, we are not real. It's all just one viewer. Oh, yeah, true. True, I forgot. You guys aren't You guys are all the same person on different accounts. It's true. Well, you do a really good job at hiding it, so I think that's important. Third TC for Combito. Some tiny details on the map that you need to focus on would be walling the outside. It's a very easy wall out there. The relics are always in the corners, which both players are looking at. And then there's the one in the middle. The water doesn't play a huge role now. But yes, Antagonist is expecting his opponent is just straight boom. Hasn't seen any additional scouts, so he's patrolling the scouts on the relics. But there's Flemish Militia out. And, ooh, but there's no Flemish Militia here. And Antagonist will get the snipe. Well played. He's locked in right now. And there goes the town center for Combito. Combito will find that scout. But yeah, Combito had the right idea. Get the Flemish Militia into position, but they just weren't there. Close game. The Gangsters have been playing for 2 months. Ah, welcome. Man, do you ever wish you could go back and replay a game from the beginning and start that experience over again? You know what they say? You don't know that they were the good old days until you're past the good old days, you know? But like, certain games. I'm not sure about Age of Empires, honestly. But like Age of Empires, I definitely wouldn't want to revert with the amount of knowledge that I have, because that took a lot of years and work. But like Halo 2, oh my god, Halo 2 campaigns for me, dude. If I could go back, experience that for the first time in the summers, you know, like with my childhood friends, oh, that'd be so sick. Yeah, AoE 2, I feel like I would not want to go back. Antagonist, I think, wants this game to be messy. He wants this to be like adaptive and fighting in different locations. Because Khmer, typically, it's just about how good their farming eco is, spamming all the cav out of the stables with it. But if it's not that, technically Khmer do have one of the best late games. So maybe he goes the other way. Maybe he plays 5 TC boom, drops castles, and we see ballista elephants here. Here comes some demos from Antagonist. I think he really just wants that relic. So he's investing into the middle because he doesn't want... It's not about the fish anymore. But his opponent having the relic is an issue for him. And that's not bad. I mean, he should be able to kill this off. Takes the fishing ships at least. And there is a monk that could be on the... Oh! Could be on the way. Combito's paying attention, though. Combito will try and repair in the last seconds. And Combito actually gets the repairs. So still holding on. It's really confusing when the players collect the buffaloes and leave them there, because I think that's units. But there was a scout around from Combito. And he's going to full stonewall this side and this side. That's so good. It's such a simple thing, and people in the early rounds of even Platinum League just have neglected to do that at times. But they played 5 rounds in the group stage to get to this playoff position. They should understand these tiny details. Antagonist just missing that. But a very close game. Resources collected is basically the same. But we do have Antagonist on the way up. Let's just double check real quick. Res collected. Food's the big one. You'd expect Khmer to be ahead there. Burgundians get the early wood upgrade, and they're ahead there. But more wood should translate into more town centers, which has happened. And eventually more farms. So it's not like having additional wood is a bad thing here. Yeah, I would go back. If I could choose one game to just reset and I'd get to experience it all at the first time, it would be Halo for me. Probably not AoE 2. As much AoE 2 is like the best game ever for me, but it's still it wouldn't be the best game ever for me to start from the beginning. I would feel like I would lost 15 years of progress. Here comes a very forward castle from Antagonist. I think Combito got so focused on the boom, got so focused on the walls, that he just completely forgot, oh yeah, the middle's kind of a thing. So, castle for Antagonist. He'll be an imp in a second. He's going to make knights here. This is purely for tread push, guys. And Combito, for the love of God, please move your queen. This would be so like me. because in other tournaments, no one ever snipes kings or queens, right? So I said with confidence, sure, we'll give some subs if the king or queen is sniped. And then the second the words come out of my freaking mouth, everyone suddenly forgets it's regicide. That'd be so like my life. Combito did snipe the monk there. Nice snipe. That's a really nice snipe. I don't know how he was able to do that. But Antagonist, he's going to be knocking on the door here pretty quickly. Combito has a nice villager lead. I don't think he really knows what his opponent is sending his way. I'd be very confused. He hasn't seen... He sees one knight. But, like, I doubt knights is going to be the play. Typically, it's archer units with a fast imp. But Khmer also struggle there. There are the archer ranges for Antagonist, though, so his plan is definitely to go for archers. Big wick walls from Combito after seeing the knight. Beautiful reaction. Remember, he is still walled on the outside, which gives him lots of safety there. And he's walled here. But the queen. Like, the queen, man. The queen. If you lose the queen, you're dead. You have to move it. Move it into the back of your base. Put it into a town center or something, please. This could be so dangerous. Monks are in the middle for Antagonist here. He probably wants to get the relic. I don't know what the monks are doing right now. Are they dodging that arrow? Look at these old men move. Oons, 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 oons. Very weird. I think he's more so focused on the trebuchet. And all right. So the Treb was going for the town center. The queen is going to move. There is a slight chance that the Treb shot, when hitting the TC, could have hit the queen. Can we go... Hold up. I actually think it was closer than we realized. Look, the Treb comes out. If that's mistimed, imagine if she's standing underneath the TC when the Treb comes in like that. It could have actually happened. But queen will run away, which is a good move. Another castle now from Antagonist as we catch up to live time. Queen will just sit in the town center. Good pressure from Antagonist. Defensive castle from Combito. This castle will complete. And he knows his opponent is playing towards Arbalest now. Which, again, is just not something the Khmer are necessarily the best at. But getting all this pressure in very quickly with the Trebs is half the battle here. And it's 2 Trebs and 2 castle Treb production against 1 castle. This will be really tough for Combito to keep the castle up. There are a couple Flemish militia here to potentially raid. Noticing a lot more on wood and golds for Antagonist, so he stopped seeding farms because he wants full wood, full gold, so he can play Arbalest and Trebs. This is not what you do if you think this game is going to go long. This is what you do to win the game quickly here. Yeah, still sinking in damage onto that castle. That castle will go down for Combito. But Khmer can't get bombard cannons. Combito can. So he should be able to make some bombard cannons out of the siege workshops. But even then, he's still losing ground. He's losing farm space. He'll lose the relics. And he expected to have more time than this. Well played from Antagonist. It's been such a nice series, guys. Back and forth. And Antagonist just... He played towards the faster castle age, used the map control to deny some relics, and then this forward castle just caught Combito completely off guard. And when you get pushed out of the middle, you're squished. And imagine trying to build buildings in this tiny little area of space. It's so difficult. Oh, man. Bombard cannons there. And, ooh, bombard cannons land some big shots. Okay, hold on. Maybe he's fine. Maybe he's fine. He does have skirms with Bracer. His opponent still doesn't have Arbalest. And Antagonist has to delete that castle. Maybe he's held. This is where I think Antagonist will be like, okay, I can't push much further. Now I might need other units other than range units. And now you should probably seed farms. Yeah. Now you use the wood for farms. Get up to like 50 on food. Go for Hussar. Then you can push the skirms. But this is almost like a hold scenario now for Antagonist. Just hold the line. Keep these castles here to give yourself time. He's actually trebbing down the blacksmith, which is pretty nice. It's always a building that people are not going to realize they need to rebuild at times. But well played to Combito. He's still got access to some resources. There's plenty of stone on the outside. There's enough gold here for now. And the bombard cannons and the skirms have done enough to Again, just hold the line. But, oh, man, the trebuchets also get the snipe as well. Every bombard cannon sniped by trebs is so valuable here. And people are really good at that now. It's a bit of luck because trebs are inaccurate, right? But it makes it really hard to dodge. I'm not a big fan of ballista elephants if your castles are forward. I think if you built the defensive castles and play the super long game, then I like ballista elephants. But it's an expensive unit, and your castles are likely to fall, so I would say use your castles for the protection of the area, and then play in towards units from the stable right now. Combito snipes a treb, still massing more bombard cannons, has been very patient. And also is getting armor again and is adding more barracks. So the plan is Flemish militia and skirms, it seems. Walls on the outside from Antagonist, just in case. Smart. The fights will still be primarily through the middle. And there's Cavalier now for Antagonist. Yeah, his eco's set up for it now. But the problem is he needs to wait for the upgrades. It's a tricky one. Like, if Antagonist loses this game, it could just come down to he wasn't able to kill the game off before bombard cannons became a factor. That's definitely, when it comes from the game planning perspective from the players, how you would see it. But he's still holding. Combito snags Loom. He lost a lot of vills this game. I guess his villagers have been here. And having no Loom is kind of a big deal when there's Imperial Age army out. Antagonist tosses away his army just to keep holding here, and he'll actually drop the stables there. Wow, that's confident. I mean, the gold is all here. So if Combito loses this gold, he doesn't have any other golds. He can't take the golds out here. Antagonist can see that. So you can starve your opponent from gold. That could be part of the reason to push this, not just to kill the king. I like the Cavalier choice when you have the gold. Hussar is the more common approach because people like to save the gold, but like, what else are you going to spend your gold on here as Khmer? You won't go Scorpions against Burgundian bombard cannons. Elephants feels like it's too costly right now. So yeah, go Cavalier. And with Cavalier, you can run in. The upgrades are still really low, though. But at least he's able to push this back a little bit. And now this gives himself a chance for the trebs to make a push on the castle. He tosses away the cav for the castle. He has to get the castle. The bombard cannons for Combito are all still alive and can go for the trebs. He needs to click the trebuchets, though. Yeah, now he's doing it. Trebs will definitely go down here. That's one down. More Cavalier come in. That'll be 2 trebs down. Castle still being repaired. 3 trebs down. Castle still being repaired. 4. Oh, guys, Antagonist just lacked the patience there. You could see exactly what he wanted. He felt he had a timing there to just apply the finishing blow, but Combito holds. Again, the nerves, right? This is Silver League playoffs to go to gold. It's not gold to platinum or platinum playoffs or anything. These are really talented players who just lack some experience and some patience in the big moments. And then Combito, so good at holding today. We saw the same thing in the first game, too. He kind of picks civs that have that very smooth early imp with the bombard cannons. Or in that case, the traction trebs. I really like the Flemish militia choice, too. It was a nice choice. I wouldn't have gone for that. And I'm also impressed with how much eco he's able to add behind the hold. But the upgrades can only get better for Antagonist. So he'll get the final armor upgrade, which he won't have. He's mixing in hand cannons, which feels like a nice addition against the Flemish militia. His castles still stand. He still has full map control. I would like to see a ballista elephant cut through this line of trees and get some units into the back. But I doubt that that's going to be on their minds. It is a detail you could go for, though. Yeah, Antagonist sees the bombard cannons and is like, please no, please no, please no, please no. Oh, my God. Oh, well, to any trebuchets watching, I should have put up a warning on screen. This is going to be very graphic. Okay, so please shield your children from the trebuchet violence. Because apparently trebuchets are just not going to survive this game. Elite Battle Elephant. Here it is. Okay. Well, I mean, he needs as strong a unit as possible. Elite Battle Elephant is definitely that unit. Needs to pull villagers to repair the castle again, or just engage. Combito waits. The Flemish militia are ready to go front lines when needed. And the bomber cannons go right back for the task. There is a relic getting stolen there by Antagonist, but that is a lot of Flemish militia, man. And they're pretty good against Cav. They're not so good against the hand cannons, though. And Antagonist baits him back in towards the hand cannons. Focus fire from Combito's skirms onto the hand cannons, though. This is so close. The castle's still standing. If the castle remains, the elephant mass can be significantly greater. I think Antagonist will want patience, but he can't show patience if his castle's going to go down. I mean, he's holding the line. He's barely holding the line, but he's holding the line. The Flemish militia maybe just aren't tanky enough. And here are the battle elephants. 14 plus 5 attack. Let's go. Let's go. It's so pricey. But now, I think you've got enough. And imagine if you also just raid this gold with the elephants, too. Because Combito's other gold was right here, and it's all gone now. Maybe we've just hit the point of the game where the Khmer units are just stronger. Well played from Antagonist. Remember, he only had like 20 on food in early Imp. He was planning to win with Trebs and Arbs, and he fixed that eco very quickly. Still painful. He's still tossing away a lot of units, but he's tossing away units because he knows he can and his opponent cannot. The Cavalier go this way for the raid. Combito reacts again. Still no actual siege from Antagonist to push these castles, so the double castles will still hold. And Burgundian Vineyards is in for Combito. And Combito is on Halb now, so he can play Halb and Skirm. Honestly, Halb and Skirm against this is pretty damn good. You could beat this with Halb and Skirm. Especially with 52 on food. When some of the farms will bring you some golden come. Especially if you get another relic here. Handcart comes in for Antagonist. Something he was missing. Oh, he snipes one bomber cannon. He snipes two. That's worth it. This castle here is taking 18k damage. And it's still standing. Oh my god, Combito. Please don't tell me. No, brother. Guys, we talk about this in Low Elo Legends. About how this is a bait. This is a trick. Combito's a high Elo legend, but he's kind of new to the game. Does he think? What is that? Caravan? Oh, God. Well, the joke is you see the gold, so you assume that that's going to give you gold income when you need gold. But no, guys, that just makes your trade move faster, and this is a freaking 1v1. That has to be a misclick. I like the micro with the elephants. Back up towards the castle, back up towards the skirms, then take the fight. Another Treb's over here doing damage. The elephants are here to raid. That castle will fall. The fourth relic will go back to Antagonist base. He's holding the line. I think this is his game. I think it's going to be 2-2. I mean, if you're truly out of gold with the Burgundians here, you can't ever make the siege to push back the castles. And eventually, there's going to be enough cracks at the side of your base where you just get raided to death by hussars or elephants. It got really dicey. It got really worrying for Antagonist. But in the end, just so much additional gold on the map that he's still mining. So much map control. Such a nice position. He was able to break Combito. I'm assuming that's the case. Combito still has some stone available to mine. He still has 180 pop. Antagonist just needs to wait for the proper trep count again. And maybe just make one more go for these castles. He's going for siege engineers, and he's waiting for 6 trebs this time. That makes sense, because he lost... He lost, like, what? I think he pushed with 5 last time. He still lost them. But it's a different situation with the army now. But really could be using mobility a little bit more. The obvious thing that we can say from this position is just Ballista Elephant through the side, and then you can raid over here. The fact that this is all protected by a little wall of wood should not be the case against Khmer. Combito's focus firing with the skirms on the hand cannons is so good. It's not easy. Usually they're attacking the units on the front. And trebuchets will go for the bombard cannon. And what? They miss? How do they miss? It was like 5 trep shots on 1 bombard cannon. Somehow the bombard cannon survives. Halbs are all dead, though. Elephants, hand cannons, and skirms are still producing. Castles here for Combito have 30 kills. Castles are still really strong, but there's elephants on the left side. Elephants he doesn't notice. Villagers from Antagonist will come take the gold. Antagonist will yeet his elephants in again. And he'll use his trebuchets against the castle. I think we know how it's going to go, though. Because we've seen this before. This is deja vu. It's not going to be enough. He just can't break him. He backs off with the trebs this time. It's just... Combito is such a fighter now, you know? But in some of the earlier stages, if things go really wrong, he's just not. He's such a talented player at holding on, man. But again, he'll lose his bombard cannons, and the clock is ticking without gold. No bombard cannons again. Antagonist will come forward again. This is going to be a long day of AoE, too. This has been... We'll be at the 2-hour mark. Okay, GG's called. 2-hour mark. 2-2. Best of 7. Let's go. What a close series. And it really feels like similar themes to every game. I think in this game, Antagonist he was really confident in his strategy. I felt like the timing attack of early Imperial Age was the game changer here. But again, he threw a lot of army away, and Combito really showed a tendency to hold. So impressive job from him to fix his economy behind it. He really needed to have every gold on the map for this, and he needed to be totally locked in. So, yeah, 2-2. Still have some arena-style maps remaining. A 2-1 KD for Antagonist. It's just his units were so expensive. Combito collected 34k food, had 38k wood, but he just never had the gold tier. And a lot of that gold was pushed on the front with the castle drop. Best of 7, you go up to the 25k gold league, which, of course, like, if you're good enough and improve enough over the next year, that could be, maybe you go up to platinum the year after that, right? Like, loser here will just be back at silver for another season. So in terms of career trajectory, when you talk about younger, fresher players to the scene, they always want to be moving up and getting bigger and better opportunities. First time we've seen a very aggressive map in this series. And both players, even though they opted for closed maps, are very good on aggressive maps. Their elo at the bottom right there, that's from playing Arabia on the ladder. Actually just noticing that Combito has 1 elo higher than Antagonist. But yeah, they're very talented here. So, would not expect a drop-off in quality. Antagonist has picked Armenians, and Combito has picked Dravidians. My expectation is that they'll both play a mix of water and land. I think they'll essentially do the same thing, but Armenians can get longsword and feudal. So with Armenians getting longsword available in feudal age, that's the difference maker with the infantry openings. It is expensive to get there, but I think that's why you pick this civ. Dravidians might just want to play very heavy archer. If you're expecting they have the superior infantry, you could actually justify skipping going man-at-arms despite your own bonuses and just going 2 archer ranges with the additional wood to get a really big jump on the land military. I think all the playoffs have been amazing so far. Someone asked, has any series been bad? I mean, scoreline-wise, the first playoff of gold was not very close, but every game was so close. So the scoreline didn't really tell the whole story. This series has been relatively back and forth. Like, I feel like every game in this series, one player has had the lead, and that player has won. We've yet to have a game where someone recovered, right? Game 1, Combito was ahead most of the game, ended up winning. Ooh. Scout is here. Hold on. Antagonist is pushing a zebra. Combito's looking for a scout, and Combito... Oh, he is here to stop the dockfield, to find the dock villager, and he just didn't notice it. Damn. Well, he's busy looking at his own dock and managing his own eco. But yeah, Combito was ahead game 1. Ends up getting the win. Game 2, it was very quick because Combito lost 2 villagers to boars and just resigned. Game 3, I felt like Combito had the lead most of the game. Went on for a while, he won. And then game 4 as well. It felt like Antagonist had the lead for most of the game. And then ended up winning as well. So we've yet to have that game where the opponent's able to break the other. But this is a map where it cannot be nearly as clear on a game just getting won or lost because there's so many things to manage. T90, do people ever dock the middle on this map? It's really good in Castle Age. In Dark Age, no, because you can just take the shorefish back to your TC. There's no value from fishing ships here. But in Castle Age, if this goes on for a decent amount of time and they have enough economy to switch, we will see people dock here and make, like, galleys. Because you can range people's farms around here. You can range the town center and take that down. So, yeah, it does happen. But just not necessarily the best thing to start with right now. I'm going to start to promote this a lot more. I might need a reminder, actually, from someone on the team to add it below the stream. But right now on Twitch, we have a TTL5 command. If you want to play these maps, test out some strats that you think can be strong, right? We'll have a community tournament, which runs at the conclusion of TTL. We have over 150 signups already. It's open for all ELO brackets. You'll be put into a league and do playoff threes against people in your group, just basically like the pros have done. It's really fun. And, yeah, I encourage you guys to check it out. But you can test out all your strategies there. Maybe Dratch can play. And then Dratch can go for a Dark Age early dock here and mind game the opponent. Maybe build a dock here and put a fishing ship in it to fire one random arrow at the TC and annoy your opponent. I don't know. There's ideas. But yeah, check it out. Thanks to everyone who signed up already. It was really cool to see how many people played last time. Yeah, so Combito's woodline's really not the prettiest situation for wood on this map I've ever seen. And he doesn't have the mule carts like the Armenians do, so you can't just wheel around somewhere else. You do get the additional wood lines, and the trees also do have additional wood compared to most trees. So acacia trees have 150 wood. Every time I watch some type of nature documentary where there's acacia trees, I will always remind my partner how much wood the trees have in AoE. And then she rolls her eyes. But it's important information. Don't even get me started on baobab trees. That's 200 wood. Do you know how many build orders you can go for with an extra 100 wood per tree? My God. And then reeds. Reeds are annoying. Reeds piss me off. 50 wood per tree is a real game changer. Ugh. And then there's also tree F and there's tree H. Sometimes they only have 51 wood. Ugh. Anyways. Important to talk about. The Combito sees the barracks. And so he expects man-at-arms. And I think he wasn't planning on going towers until this very moment. I think he's full-on adapting. He's gone forward dock, which has been found by Antagonist. But he is going to stone to play tower defense. I think this could actually be pretty good. So it's all about the timing of the attacks. But if you can get a tower down here, and then you can get a tower down here, and the towers are in range of each other, it protects your wood, it protects your stone, it protects your gold. And you can skip going man-at-arms, but it takes a while to get to that tower. This is definitely something that the Dravidians would not typically plan on. And man, it's going to be so close here as well, because the Antagonist will be moving in. Now, on water, they're fighting. The fishing ships are garrisoned right now for Antagonist, so he doesn't have the food eco there. And here he comes. Man-at-Arms will about to complete. Combito's taking the fight. And it all comes down to the damage control here. Of course, there's the other tower on this side. He goes for the houses. He goes for the walls. And it's perfect. It's perfect. And he also kills the scout as well. So he kills Antagonist scout. He so far can defend from the Man-at-Arms. He did end up losing his dock villager, though. And the fishing ships are back to work for Antagonist. I'm wondering what Antagonist does now. I feel like Antagonist could actually build another dock down here and just escape with his fish, so they're not consistently garrisoned in the north. But it's just uncomfortable now. You wanted to play Man-at-Arms into archers, and now your opponent's got 2 towers, and you're like, what do I even do? Obviously, this means no counterattacking on land for Combito, and it's just going to be full water. But all he's done so far is idled the fish. I think idling the fish is something, though, right? You don't lose any vills? Actually, it says he lost eco. What did he lose, chat? What did he lose? Did he lose a fishing ship? I don't know what he lost. Oh, no, he lost the villager here, and I showed it. Okay, sorry. Forgot about that. So, yeah, that was the only villager that went down. The Combito will hold water. And it's 4 fishing ships with Dravidians, which are working pretty efficiently behind this. So that's not bad at all. Villager that was exposed here got a quick wall in. And I think Combito has been relatively creative. Now, what I think you should probably try and do at a certain point is you should try and play into land, build a barracks, and build an archer range. But for now, it's been a decent start. An antagonist will switch over to the berries now. That is an area of concern for Combito. That is really, really forward berry position. And the man-at-arms for antagonists could potentially get more value long-term as well if the wood line is chopped. But backs away from the fishing ships because he knows they can garrison in the dock, and there's 2 hawks there still running around. His fishing ships are down here now, so he could always escape with them. But remember how Combito played the other water map? He was really good with damage control. He's done a decent job here, but oof, Demo comes in now. Demo takes an okay trade. Man-at-Arms should be thinking about what resources they can deny, and the answer is the berries. Combito's going for quick walls. But it's not for the berries. Combito is sending the villager down here to go for another dock. Makes sense, I guess, because he's investing so much into water. And because the berries are so exposed. Guys, just think about it. Think how lucky you are. You could be one of these villagers having to repair hawks next to arrows from docks and on swamp terrain. And instead, you're watching Age of Empires and relaxing on a Sunday afternoon. We don't sit back and realize how lucky we are sometimes, you know? But you could be out there in the hot sun, walking around through snappers and fishing ships that ding all the time, hammering away. Imagine how uncomfortable that would be. And here we are. Instead, we get to relax and enjoy some AoE too. Combito's adding even more fish now, so he feels like he's won water. He moves out to the berries. The man-at-arms are just standing there, though. Again, that could be you. That could be you. But instead, we get to relax. That's so nice as well. Because Combito might also just want to complete the mill just so he can go for... just so he's able to go for a market, right? You need to complete the mill to build the market. I think with the fish, he won't necessarily need the berries. But the mill is denied at 83%. It's actually a huge deal. Because he will have full water control. And he could be on like 10 fishing ships. He could build a market right now, buy and sell his res and think about clicking up. But now he probably has to drop a random mill somewhere. But it's just one of the tough things about this map is getting the ratios right. Do you go land? Do you go water? He's gone for the risky approach of going for water. Has the eco lead, but KD 7-7. And finally, a barracks for Combito. That probably means an archer range is going to come. Market comes up for Antagonist. I think Antagonist... we'll see. I know he tends to overqueue vills and he can cancel them too. But sometimes you miss... Like, you don't have good command. Sorry, I can't speak. On what your resources look like. So if you have 8 vills in queue, you don't realize how close you are to clicking up the Castle Age. Nice demos, though. And then up here, we have the Hawks fighting back. Chat is telling me I missed the perfect demo when the KD was 7-7, and now the KD is 8-8. Okay, oh my god, I actually looked away there. I'm so sorry. I didn't think he was going to use the demo on the villager, but he does demo the villager. And that's probably worthwhile, but now there's a demo here, and all right. Demos continue. Archers are going a little bit too far. But the archers pull away. And Antagonist is on the way to the Castle Age. Game is so even. Score is even 2-2. I think it goes either way. But I think I prefer Combito's position, assuming he goes double range. If he goes double range archers here, I really like his position. He's got enough value from the fish already. I think he just needs to sort out the land. And he really needed that mill to complete because he really needs the market. Like, that was such a big deal, man. Crazy defensive towers. Drops a tower there to secure that area. Drops a tower here to secure this area. Defensive towers feel pretty strong on this map. And that allows you to play the water and not have the land defense with military. Antagonist has not given up fully on water. And technically, just based on how water tech tree works, should want to go galleys here, but because you can commit so little to upgrades, you don't have a lot of food and stuff, it feels like players are just going to continue with the Hawks. But yeah, I don't even know what that was. Antagonist was going for a dock, and Combito quick walls him in. What in the world? Traps the villager with 4 different houses and a gate and a palisades. Kills the Vil. Still defending the fishing ships as well, and is playing in towards skirmishers. Okay, hold up. Antagonist is walking forward. What's the plan here? Church rush? Is he about to go for a fortified church? He is. Ooh. Okay, so they nerfed this. The church itself doesn't have as much range anymore, but they didn't really heavily nerf the warrior priest. So I think if you have the church there and you go warrior priest in siege, or even monks in siege, things could get really interesting. Reminder, Antagonist doesn't have a lot of food eco actively working, but he has 9 villagers in queue. So he still does have the food. And those villagers are just still hanging out. And he's going to demo the fish. And he demos 3 fishing ships. That's not bad. That is not bad. If you think you're going to lose water, that can be an approach here. Guys, Antagonist is checking the outside. Will he find these villagers? It's such a critical thing to remember on this map. Look, this is not a mistake. This is not luck. He knows about the res on the outside himself, and he's using those archers out here. And it's the one area Combito didn't have a tower. That's a nice find for Antagonist. Delaying the second TC is beautiful. Siege Workshop is on the way. Another monastery is on the way. He's going to turn this into arena and play monks in siege. Skirmishers for Combito will just fall back to kill the archers, but it did delay the second town center. And I think we missed another demo on one more fishing ship, because I think Combito's down to 6 now. But Combito has good enough economy to go for guard tower. So guard tower upgrades on the way, and guard tower could shut down a push pretty quick. Fletching hasn't been in the entire game. There goes another demo looking for fish. Oh, it'd be so good if he could get multiple. Ah, he got 1. But he's busy here, and he sees guard tower. And yeah, I think if you see guard tower, you probably need to settle down a little bit. Because you have to assume that Bodcanero is going to be coming in. But you could pressure this town center. People forget about this. Just pressure the town center, man. This is still important. It's right there. It's not towered or anything. And we're booming. Eco lead is there for Combito. At least as far as the efficiency goes and res collected. But Combito is investing stone into towers that are going to protect this area for the near future. Actually, well, protect it for the long term, but you need to protect the rest of the map. You need to fight for these gold and stone positions. I think down here becomes the critical area of the map. Obviously, in this position, Antagonist still has a really nice position. Is he actually pushing this? So he doesn't see Bodcaneros in, and he is not scared of guard tower, and he's pulling multiple vills to repair this. Combito thought he had this locked down. He builds another tower now, but in the end, it's still just going to be 1 tower in this position. Antagonist continues to repair it. Yeah, he takes down the first tower. He's now going for the second. There's another panic tower from Combito. And also, you can use the mule cart to block projectiles, guys. I don't know if that's here on purpose, but mule cart could actually sit in front of the mangonel and block the tower fire. Has it taken damage here? It's taken 77 damage. Is that what he's doing? That's what he's doing! That is what he is doing! So in other tournaments, for TC dropping purposes, it was actually banned for town center drops, believe it or not. Because people would TC drop, and they would then put their mule cart in the middle of their town center, so the opponent couldn't shoot their town center. Obviously, this is just a really creative use of a very specific thing here. There's no like rules against it. But that is ridiculous detail that he has chosen to focus on. Now, I think pushing up the hill when your opponent ends up having their own mangonels and the guard tower gets very complicated. I also think it's kind of sad that his free relic is now there and he might not be able to collect it. But that's still a nice hill to hold. And it's not an area that he's gonna lose very easily now. I still don't know what the eco transitions look like. Oh my god, it's insane. 18 farms here. Remember when there were 0? Over here, Combito's taking berries and taking hunt and still has some fish, of course. So that still means the game is pretty close. I think redemption could be an option for Antagonist if the opponent's defending with monks. Another game where Combito loses the blacksmith and will need to rebuild it later on. He is adding more docks, though, to still get value from the fishing ships. He's done that in every area now. So he'll have the water. And that water becomes important for the late game as well. Cannon galleons and galleons can start to range Vils and Eco. I don't really know who's winning this game at the moment. It's incredibly close. The attack round from Combito is perfect. We see the benefit of having the hill there, because that was a direct hit from Antagonist. I think Antagonist is going to go full YOLO underneath this tower with his monks, and it's going to be either really good or really bad. The first time he tries this is the best opportunity. Combito will eventually get Bodkin and Ballistics. Like, if he knew this, he would just back up with his siege. He would garrison his tower. The monks should never have any chance. Combito dropping town center number 4 now. Wow, so good. Farms are here. Horse collar now. I still think that Antagonist has just completely forgotten about this town center. Like, you can move to flat ground and push this TC. It's no problem. But, yeah, it just never dawned on him. And instead, he's trying to push up a hill against siege and against a guard tower, which is so difficult. At least you could take down the town center. I mean, there's farms there. You can use your redemption monks there, no problem. Run. Get it. Dude, I'd be so... If I were these monks, I'd be so pissed. Because the monks don't get to decide where the monastery's built, right? That's the villager's decision. That's like some construction manager's decision. And he decided to build the church with the free relic there. And now you have to go save the relic. I mean, come on. Classic management. But okay, relic's been saved now. Look at Combito sneaking up outposts here. He's got a lot of vision around the map. It's hard to feel like you're ever going to lose this game when you can see this much. But Imp is on the way for Antagonist, and he will drop a castle there. Which can't be denied. He will try. He sees it. He feels like it's worth the effort, but he doesn't know Redemption's in. He'll find out very quickly Redemption's in. And... oh, God! Oh, God! Yeah, I mean, that's what Redemption can do. But in the end, I mean, the castle doesn't directly hurt you, and now you got to click Imp, and he clicks Imp in the back TC. I was wondering if maybe he would make the mistake of going Imp in the forward TC. I think Combito has played this beautifully here. The defensive towers, like, sure, he's been incredibly defensive on land, but he's been incredibly aggressive on water. His economy behind it's been great. The recognition to know that that means Antagonist is on the way to Imp and to go Imp yourself is so good. And these towers are still going to give you value long term. He's also getting the 3rd relic right now. And he's starting to add war galleys. And war galleys can start to do some real damage. This stone would be denied by war galleys. The farms, the wood lines. Cannon galleons can range a lot on this map. And remember, you can always dock the middle as well. So, I think that the small details are there for Combito to win it. The monks are still going to be the key for Antagonist because he can still convert the bombard cannons. But Armenians can't actually make their own bombard cannons, which is the issue. And a little late to a garrison here, Combito. And I think he's starting to look around at a lot of different areas. But probably needs to focus here. I'm not sure what he's looking at. He's making more ships. Yeah, okay, well, he didn't really notice there at all. Antagonist is Imp. Antagonist will make a Treb. 110 pop for Antagonist. But what do you make for military beyond these Trebs and these monks? And a couple composite bowmen. I guess composite bowmen is the answer here. Ooh, God. Oh, man, he's going this way. Combito can see everything, right? He's got outposts. But Antagonist wants to pressure these golds. That's a good castle to place here. You need some chaos right now. Otherwise, this game is going to scale really nicely for Combito. And then maybe you can Treb push from this side. Combito doesn't see this. Maybe he's losing a little bit of focus on land. He's starting to mass skirms in the back to make his own Treb. The big thing here is chemistry, though. Chemistry for bombard cannons needs to come in, and that's not on the way yet. It also wasn't in queue behind ballistics. Guys, I can see Antagonist is starting to get some momentum here. We'll see. There's a castle there. But the thing about this castle is Antagonist can see it with his outpost. So he can make a composite bowman or two, and then he can actually start to treb this. And yeah, he's going for the trebs immediately. Skirm bombard cannon's a good comp. Navy's a good comp, but you do need to have the rest of your eco still alive here if you're Combito. And here comes the Antagonist with another castle. He lands a decent shot with the mangonels. Oh man, this is insane. Let's not forget this though. Like, it's really tough for Antagonist to freely take res. There's also villagers down here for Combito, so he's taking the south. He also has outposts in the north. He's getting the relic in the north. Like, pretty much it's stop this attack, he wins the game. Because he's got every area of the map except the middle that he's currently losing. I'm feeling like Combito should win this if he gets chemistry and keeps the Navy up on the outside. But maybe Antagonist could build a castle on the shoreline somewhere. And maybe he could start to retake water at the same time. Certainly like the pressure he's putting onto the town centers. The relics are also sitting right here, so we can steal those. There's a counterattack of skirmishers here from Combito. Mangonels and composite bowmen have to go home. That's the problem for Antagonist. He's got no defense. Full offense. But he takes down a castle. He'll take down the monastery. He'll take down the tower. He is defending from... Well, he's not able to defend from the skirms because the skirms are near the war galleys. That's a problem. But he's building another castle. Bro. This is insane. If there was an archer that's good against skirms, it would be the composite bowman because they ignore armor. But still, Dravidian skirms are some of the best skirms in the game because of the fire rate. Okay, Combito holds this area. He's still losing grounds here. Remember, you've got 1 gold and 1 stone in each corner, so he does still have some to work with if he gets pushed off of this. But Antagonist is about to have 4 relics. And I don't know where the 5th one is. I know Combito had it at one point. Chemistry! Oh, God, chemistry. Chemistry just came in. That would have been massive if he denied chemistry. But now Combito's range units benefit, and now he can actually play in towards bombard cannons. And you can see, like, strategically and macro-wise, Combito is very strong. Sometimes it's taking the fights where you need to take them, where he sometimes struggles. It almost feels like he underreacts a little bit. Like, he doesn't make army. But, like, he is using his army. He's just using it very differently. He's got his navy around the outside, and he's moving it with his trebs and his skirms here. But the fact that he still has had no response to this push is the worrying sign. It's been some progress for Antagonist. And, I mean, maybe it snowballs eventually if the composite bowman can actually beat the skirmishers. And monks are going to be valuable to convert any of the bombard cannons that are about to come out. But yeah, I still feel like bombard cannon's the game changer. And I still feel like the economy is far better for Combito. And for Antagonist, he's still surrounded and he can't really move anywhere. He will probably run out of this gold and can't leave that corner. He has to keep pushing. So there he goes. But I mean, triple castle composite bowman production is maybe good enough because the skirmisher production is all coming from this direction. Hold up. Yeah, the skirms are all being produced here, guys. Where the ranges are getting camped by the composite bowman, or they're going to be trebbed down by the trebs. And Antagonist is just moving his eco this way. It's triple castle composite bowman production. We also have composite bowman running into the back. They can get into the eco back there. But I mean, Combito can just treb down like an Antagonist eco at any point in time. This is welcome to silver playoffs, guys. Where you can tell they're all very talented, but there's still some struggle to finish off games at times. What in the world? I mean, we could have so many bombard cannons in a second for Combito. He went from no bombard cannons. He's on 3 or 4 now. He's about to be on 7. But man, he's losing his ranges. He has built some towers back here to defend. And he will drop a castle here. You take my base, I take yours. Let's go. Base trade. I still am always leaning towards Combito because of bombard cannons and because of the navy, the circle of navy surrounding the villas. He doesn't necessarily need to break this. But I don't think he can lose any more ground. Yeah, and the bombard cannons are doing exactly what we expected. But Antagonist will have monasteries, and Antagonist has 38 on gold somehow. He actually has villagers up here. Did the villagers find the gold? Yeah, they did. So he can take that. That's a nice find. So yeah, he'll go full monks, I guess, to convert the bombard cannons. And here go the trebuchets from Combito. I know it looks ridiculous, but he'll take that town center. And all these villas for Antagonists have to leave. And they're super focused there, and the bombard cannons killed 2 trebs. Ooh, that was such a nice find. Imagine what happens, though, if Antagonist locks in every conversion. If he receives 5 bombard cannons, he can win. It's not even about the kills. It's about getting them on your side and saving them. Could be so important here. And Antagonist probably remembers that game Vinchester, who he knows very well. Came back against Leary and King of the Desert with just composite bowmen against skirms. Here, there are the monks. I think Combito should know, though. He lost his mangonels before. Yeah, he sees the monks. Those are some nice attack rounds. Panic town centers in the north for Antagonist. Antagonist still... His eco is looking horrible. These trebs are still taking down his houses and his buildings. But he's just hoping that he can take good enough fights on the front, and I just don't see it. Guys, what Combito does is he fixed his eco behind all this. Look at the amount of farms. He got pushed. His whole main base is gone, and he's got eco everywhere. He's got more buildings all again. 1 bombard cannon converted. Second one doesn't get converted, but that cannon shoots another one on the way down. I mean, at what point do we start to see cannon galleons around the outside for Combito as well? And then that's some serious range. He also could just play elephant archers here. He's queuing up regular archers, so maybe he wants to play arbalest. Pop is still high for Antagonist. Relic count's still there. But it's so awkward for him to move around without having water control. I actually think that's the main thing. I think he needs to redock. And he needs to play... well, I don't know the Armenian tech tree with the new water balance. Yeah, so I would say... I was thinking play, like, Elite Hawk, or I guess Carracks. If you play full Hawks here, you can maybe push it back. But might be too little too late. He is stabilizing this area a little bit. Now, upgrades are still flying in for Combito, who's just so patient when he has the lead. He's so patient when he's behind as well. Because the majority of the work he will put in is into balancing that eco behind. Doesn't have the relics anymore, though. And eventually, I guess... I mean, there's 6k gold left on the map. Eventually, he might actually run out. What a game. Just double-checking the gold he has. There's 300 gold there. There's no gold down here. There's a little bit... There's a lot of gold up here. Okay. Yeah, this army comp is too strong now, I think. The Arbalest will go in for the monks. Snipe the monks. The bombard cannons can advance forward. The trebs are here. And Combito is just going to take the position right back. And that's where the key is for Antagonist. The relics are behind there. The castles kept him in the game. It's literally a back-and-forth series, right? If Combito wins. Combito wins, Antagonist wins. Maybe we're set up for 7 games. Arbs move forward again. Bombard cannon gets converted, but I can't even get excited about that one because there's 3 more trebs and there's 4 more cannons, and he's just ready to go. Snipes another treb. Antagonist needs repairs. Bombard cannons micro. Will snipe another treb. Castle will fall, and the Arbalest was the perfect choice from Combito. 180 pop now, and the GG's called. Man, what a game. What a game. Honestly, you know, when I initially saw the opening, it didn't feel as though the opening was planned, but it was so good to play tower defense and water and boom that maybe it was. Like, that was really well managed there. A lot of players who play this map are just they want to do exactly what I was saying, where it's like take the map control back on land, right? Play crossbow, play big army. He never really did that in Castle Age. He just boomed. He held the water control. He reacted to what his opponents sent his way. He did lose a couple towers, but his economy was just so good here. And he goes up 3-2. So Antagonist will have a home map or two. I forget which, but yeah, you could just never compete with the economy there. 23k food collected for Combito. This guy lost multiple town centers. He lost all of his archery ranges. He lost his castles. He still was able to have that good of an economy. He also lost the relics that he collected as well and still had a decent amount of gold. Impressive. Koreans from Antagonist. What? What? This is his #1 pick. He goes for Koreans? Wow. I'm not surprised that Koreans were drafted on the Civ draft because I think Koreans are a good Civ, but I'm very surprised that this was his #1 pick and he's going to play on bypass. I mean, if he's picked Koreans #1, I have to assume he's going to play towers here. I can't think of any other thing you could do. But you could maybe you could play Castle Age towers. You could play rocket carts and fire lancers. Korean late game is very good, but man, he had Bengalis out here. We had Spanish as well. Some civs that we've been seeing way more on this. What is Antagonist cooking up? He is down 3-2 right now. If he loses one more game, he'll be back in silver for the next season, and Combito will be gold. But you have the opening in the middle, so that's a pretty easy access tower rush if you want it. You know what I think Combito should do here? I think he should play fast feudal just in the off chance his opponent goes tower rush and play like archers almost. Like archers into your own towers to shoot down their towers. Portuguese have more flexible economy in my opinion because the wood they get from the berries. Plus your gold units are cheaper, which just feels super smooth. I think if you play fast castle here and your opponent goes for lots of pressure, could potentially go wrong, especially with this gold being forward. But maybe that's a mind game. Maybe Antagonist knows, okay, he will go Feudal Age to defend from my tower rush. So then I won't tower rush, and then I'll just siege push him in Castle Age. So there's lots of mind games at play. Wook says, did you get married yet, T90? Question mark. No, I get married later on this year. I have... Guys, at the end of 2025... my partner and I talk, we're like, let's try and be a little bit more chill this upcoming year, you know? We had a crazy year. Lots of travel, lots of work for both of us. Let's try and be more chill. And we're trying to be more chill, though I can tell you it is very likely that I will probably be leaving the country for some type of event 4 times this year. I will be home with family, which is more flights, 3 times or 4 times this year. I have a friend thing. I have event like this event. There might be more event and that's us trying to be chill. It's going to be a very busy year. So, marriage at Royal Albert Hall would be epic. Yeah, I doubt we're going to manage that. That's smart though. Oh man, because we're already in. Oh my god, we already got access. We got the passes. Oh my god. I mean, when I proposed at the other Red Bull event, we were able to even use their photographers because they were like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. It was a sick venue. Oh my goodness. What? Damn. I mean, Dave and I are going to have to, they're going to send the camera to us for the finals or something at Red Bull. And I'm going to have to tell Dave, hey, Dave, Jamie and I are going to get married real quick. All right. You're now the efficient. Let's do this. Oh, I mean, honestly, I would have considered it. I mean, but we already put some deposits down for wedding stuff, so it's probably too late. Funny idea, though. Combito just pushing in some ostrich here. Antagonist scouting around the backside. Antagonist with 4 on wood, which doesn't tell me this will be a fast uptime. And the scouts actually find each other back here, and Combito gets a couple hits. Continues to push the ostrich. And it will also be fast castle for Combito. Okay, since it's fast castle for Combito, Twitch chat, do me a favor, and you guys do the casting, all right? There's going to be some poor soul later on YouTube who really needs some insights into the complexities of the Civ matchup. And you guys are far stronger than just one person. So, I will be right back. I need caffeine. Go ahead. Break it down for him. Go ahead. Wait a second. Sorry, I'm back. Hardy just said, who's my editor in chat, he says T90 casting is better because then I don't have to find the AFK part and speed it up for the YouTube VOD. You do that? You've been speeding up the parts where I go AFK for the YouTube videos? Can anyone confirm? I thought we just kind of left it there. I mean, I don't press the edit button when I go away. He speeds it up? Really? What? I never knew that, dude. I mean, does YouTube appreciate that? I don't know. Man, YouTube's already asleep, so they don't even know. Hardy is editing it out, and the people are already napping, apparently, so they never even noticed it. That's why they never left any comments. Oh my god. That's crazy. Well, guys, forgive me if this is unprofessional, but this has been a long series. We're 3.5 hours in. I'm going to eat my snack here. This is just a boom game. It's just ridiculous that they're just going so economic. Maybe not, though. Maybe Antagonist still goes for Fire Lancers. I had no clue Hardy was doing that. That's insane. I just find it so wild that there's so much potential for both these civs to be aggressive and do damage. And both players are just like, nope. I'm not expecting anything crazy. I'm just gonna boom. I mean, Combito will place a couple houses. We'll place the outpost. But, like, I guess Antagonist is just dropping town centers here. Villagers coming to the outside. All right, I won't talk for another minute. Hardy, go ahead. Zoom it up. Zoom through it for YouTube. Okay. I'm done eating. You know what's so freaking funny about this, though? About Hardy speeding up those parts that I never asked him to do? Please type a 1 in chat if I have once asked Hardy to edit something and I pressed my edit button and then he says no with text on screen. So I have asked Hardy, I've said, hey Hardy, can you please add this later? And he will say no. And then I don't ask him to speed through these types of moments. And then he does. Like, that's hilarious. I guess, Hardy, if there's one thing you guys didn't already know about Hardy, he's very particular on things, which is why he's a great editor. He has his own ideas. And he takes it very seriously, which I appreciate. But also, holy crap, how did I not know he was speeding through that stuff? Damn. And I do watch some of my own videos, but I don't, like, watch every second, So if it's a specific edit, I'll look for it. But guys, all that's happening here is Combito is just going multiple town centers. He's going for the relics. He's already collected the relic in the middle. With the outpost here, he doesn't see anything from Antagonist. He scouted on the outside that there is a TC here from Antagonist. And he's now brought his scout, and he's bringing his monk, and he wants to siege pressure this. But Antagonist doesn't see that. It's actually rather important that he does see this. I think the scout, if anything, is looking around for the relics. But I guess Antagonist just really likes the Korean boom and likes the Korean late game and wants to get there. But this being his #1 pick and playing it here is still surprising to me. I thought he would, because he picked Spanish and Megalis. Those civs have more potential for the aggression, but it's been a very boomy series. And oh man, he found him. Can't hide behind your hat, you old man. Honestly, I don't even know if the Portuguese monks are really that old. I never really got a good look at them, but nice snipe there from Antagonist. But that's kind of worth it for Combito because his Siege Workshop hasn't been spotted. So, Antagonist has the outside. He thinks this is good for him. And yes, in theory, he can always play guard tower defense against Siege Push, but he doesn't know the Siege Push is coming. So, I mean, this is a really big deal. He's not on stone at all. Here comes the Mangonel. He doesn't even have Loom. Like, crazy. And finally, we see the aggression, and I don't think he notices this. Antagonist. That's 2 villagers down already. And again, critically, you can't build a guard tower here now to defend. He's still hoping to save his scout. He will shift villagers to stone here. Combito just adds TC number 4. Combito adding relic number 2. This is looking good for Combito. Mangonel also killed a 3rd villager underneath the TC. Panic time for Antagonist. And Combito has honestly punished this perfectly. He's gone for the perfect boom. His economy balance is amazing. But also, he's getting the relics. He's expanding his economy. It's the perfect amount of pressure. It won't end the game here, but it will force a lot of reactions from the opponent, which can slow them down. Triple outpost there for Vision as well. Can see the Siege Workshop. And we actually have a Siege Tower from Antagonist. Interesting. Why 3 outposts? Well, triple the Vision. That's why. Well, sorry, Hardy, edit that out. Not triple the Vision. That's a joke, but it's a little bit more Vision because you have an outpost more, this direction. But yeah, so this was nerfed, right? Siege towers don't move as quickly anymore, but you can still make siege towers to bail yourself out of these positions. This is an excellent decision from Antagonist. If he goes for a rocket cart, Combito sees him, and Combito has more units and can go like Redemption Monks and deal with it. But Antagonist still has the Vil count even. He's waiting for Fire Lancers, and he will hop inside and he will try and roll in to the Mangonels. But Combito saw the barracks. I don't think it's dawned on him yet what's happening. And in theory now, since the siege towers are slower and they also have less HP, you should be able to attack ground them. But here we go, guys. Choo-choo! There we go. See how slow it is? It's only 3 units. But that's the speed it always is now, I think. Even if you put more units into it. And oh god, he knows what's in there. Quick walls need to happen. Quick walls do happen. Siege tower is designed to send units over walls. And Siege Tower only ends up getting 1 Mangonel kill, and the other Fire Lancers are kind of stuck here. So I think that's well played from Combito. Honestly, though, Antagonist didn't... I feel like he didn't try and move around as much as he could have tried. There's other aspects to this game to remember. Such as Tower Rush. Dude, if Antagonist remembers the middle here and it goes guard tower, it would be so good right now. I think he might win the game because of it, but he doesn't know about that. He's focused on his economy on the outside, pushing the Mangonels back. Good micro to save the scout so far. He actually ends up... Okay, everything dies. But I think the Mangonel push is dead. These Mangonels will have to roll home. Nice attack rounds. Maybe with the repair and the unit he converted here, it's enough. But Antagonist wants to protect. Oh god, we've got another tower. He probably wants a castle. Does he want a castle forward right now? Like a castle this way? I mean, last time Combito saw villagers going forward for a castle, he immediately went imp himself and was ready to defend from it, right? That's what he did in the previous game. I'm not certain if he saw the villagers moving there. But it seems like he shifted a bunch of vills to stone, and he's defending like he knows the pressure is coming. And there's the castle from Antagonist. But guys, Antagonist is not clicking up. Antagonist is staying in Castle Age for a long time. He's getting upgrades. He's still spamming the vills. And, he's going for an even more aggressive castle. And Combito's castle... This could be denied, dude. If he sees it and moves towards it... I mean, it's only at 40%. He does have Fire Lancers here. Okay, he sends the units over the wall to go after the monk. Kills the monk, and now the siege tower's out here on its own, and Combito's castle will go up. Fire Lancers are still spamming. But still think Antagonist has completely forgotten about the middle. Tower Rush here as well could be interesting. But, I mean, it's been a long series. It's been an intense series. There's been a lot happening, and Combito has definitely been the more relaxed player of the two. Like, he's been able to have chill when need be. If anything, he's been too chill at times. But, yeah, he could still go this direction. He does have outposts over here to know if the opponent ever goes that direction. And he always has the outpost here, so if Antagonist were... Oh, I guess Antagonist can't tower here. I take it back. This house wall means Antagonist can't really go through. Really well played. You would have to break it down, which feels like an extra level of resistance you don't want to deal with. And Combito will drop a defensive castle, and he will have 2 castles versus 1. With a villager lead and 4 relics. And we'll also see that there's villagers coming this way from Antagonist. If Antagonist sees his opponent has outposts, though, he can just tower up and probably be fine. Lancers have not gotten through, but the Lancers haven't gotten through yet, should be the way to say it. There's still all the stone and gold available for Antagonist. He will take down Combito's market. He can run in with the Fire Lancers, maybe. He's getting Yipseong, which will add more range for the towers, and is starting to drop some towers there. Combito clicking the champion upgrade. He's clearly expecting Lancers, so he's thinking about champions and maybe hand cannons with chemistry on the way. And, oh, big mistake here. He has his Treb underneath his opponent's castle. He needs to notice that. That's a huge deal. A Treb is so important. And all Antagonist needs right now is time. His civilization has options. He just needs time. He's pushing this way with more towers. That tower will probably be denied because Combito's building a castle. Combito... Okay, actually notices it, and he's repairing it. But I'm pretty sure that... okay, maybe it's fine. Antagonist has the right idea. This is why he picked Koreans. There's so much stone on the map, and if he could, in theory, just tower all the sides, it gets really difficult for the opponent to push it back. Also, the Fire Lancers are dirt cheap, so if he loses units, it should be no problem. The Fire Lancers will run around underneath the castle. Castle that still doesn't have ballistics yet. And castle will go down for Antagonist. But these castles for Combito don't really protect the sides, right? Even this doesn't really protect that much of the stone and the gold area. Weird game. Crazy game. Combito's just playing really low army again. He's thinking through his options to best handle this. There's a hole here. He needs a house wall. Yeah, I mean, this pressure is adding up right now. It doesn't react to that. I mean, you can't just play hand cannons here, because if you play hand cannons, the Koreans have super cheap skirms, right? And you can't necessarily play bombard cannons because with the upgrades on the towers actually range the bombard cannons. The upgrades aren't in yet. All the Fire Lancers actually died there for Antagonist. Oh, man. Oh, man. Combito is producing bombard cannons from this Siege Workshop. Is he using a Select All Siege Workshop hotkey? I mean, I use Select All Archer Range and Select All Barracks and Select All Stable. I don't do Select All Siege Workshop, but I think in this instance he might be... Yeah, he is. You can tell because the queue time is the exact same. He's doing Select All Siege Workshop, or he put them on a control group. Either way, he's unintentionally sending bombard cannons into these towers here. That's 500 resources down every time. Also, this Trebuchet. Oh, God, Combito. You can tell he's so focused. He's so busy with all the towers and the Lancers. Oh, no. No. That's so painful. But that's so good for Antagonist. Again, silver level is insane, right? These players are really good. They have a lot of potential, but they are not perfect, right? You're reminded of the fact that they don't have some of the experience and that the nerves are high. Did he just delete the Siege Workshop? Wait a second. Hold up. He realized what he was doing by mistake, and his solution was to delete the Siege Workshop. Okay. All right, whatever gets the job done, dude. Whatever gets the job done. Because in his head, he's going to make that mistake again. Unless he deletes the Siege Workshop. Because he's probably... That tells me it's not a control group then. That tells me it's doing the select all hotkey. Yeah. And if you're using select all hotkeys, I do it all the time if I build sneak stables. Like, I'll build a stable here, and then I'm sending units all the way back home. So, yeah, I mean, it actually saves the resources then. So, there is logic to it. Combito's on champion, which Antagonist should see. And Antagonist is going to play hand cannon now. And Antagonist is playing full hand cannon, bomber cannon from this side. Just camping the stone and gold. Ends up becoming really valuable for Combito that he got 4 of the 5 relics. And the fact he's Portuguese and can make Feitoриas. But, I mean, can he push this easily? Look, select all archery range hotkey. Select all archery range hotkey from Antagonist. They're both making the same mistakes with the select all hotkeys. That's why the very best players do not use select all hotkeys and they control group. Go, hand cannon, go! Oh, he's dead. Let's see if he makes that mistake again. Yeah, it's select all hotkeys can actually be a really big problem. I struggle with it fighting on both sides now. And it's like, I'm so used to select all hotkeys, I can never go back, right? So I will always continue to use them. And you just try and manage this. Okay, bombard cannon upgrade. A big bombard cannon upgrade. Arquebus now coming in for Portuguese. So now the gunpowder units fire more accurately at moving targets. Essentially, they're affected by ballistics. But the towers still match the range of the bombard cannons. So I think if the towers are still there... if the towers are still there, this could be really good for Antagonist. He's clearly looking at the other side right now. Man, I don't know what I think about this. I feel like he's so scared of the middle, and he might want to push the middle. But he doesn't know what we know. From his perspective, the darkness is very scary there, and he is stonewalling around it, so that's never a factor. The skirms for Combito, though, killing off the hand cannons pretty nicely. Left side, Combito still just repairing. That's a misclick on a bombard cannon. And that's another bombard cannon that goes down, and oh man, it's been such a long series. You're starting to see that both players are making some mistakes you're not really used to. 3.5k stone for Antagonist. So he can always replace the towers. But if he were to lose all of his fortifications behind the towers, it could be a problem. Look at how much military Combito has. He's got so much army over here. Bombard cannons are taking down towers. Trebs are taking down towers. The skirms are on the hand cannons. The champions can take the bombard cannons. Antagonist doesn't have enough. He does not have enough. And meanwhile, Combito, he actually hopped out over here with his bombard cannons and sniped that bombard cannon to hold it. That is textbook. That is so well played. You hold one side. You essentially defend after an attack. And I don't think Antagonist can build the towers fast enough to hold this. This is just horrible. Champions are fully upgraded as well. Skirm production, champion production is next level. And now Combito can come in, maybe when he was just about to run out of golden stone, and he can start to mine it. And more panic production buildings from Antagonist. Still can't do anything with the left side control. Combito has just been so patient today. He's just a really patient player. And his economy management is unbelievable. He's at 65 on food again, guys. Like, I thought it as well when I was casting his 5th rounds in the group stage against Ozone. I was just thinking, like, how does he get that good of an economy while managing everything else? Another bombard cannon snipe? It's so good. And pretty soon, if Combito wants to, he could start to push back this direction. It's just so tough for Antagonist. He just pokes out every once in a while and snipes your bombard cannons. You can't even push there anymore. The skirms are always on the front lines. The skirms on the front lines for the tank. With sniping hand cannons as the Antagonist is producing as much as possible here. I mean, once Combito hit Imp, it almost looked like he wasn't bothered at all. And he kind of felt like he was underacting at times, but he's just been so good with the bombard cannon situations here. And he just continues to dive. I honestly, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'd love to see the 7th game on Coast Arena, but I don't see how this ends nicely for Antagonist, because he's building up more buildings to try and stabilize, which is the correct play, but he's losing everything too quickly. He would have to build up all the way back in his base, and he taps out and calls the GG. Combito will move on to Gold League. He is a very talented player, guys. Very talented. And I think when you think about the pressure of high-level AoE, looks like he deleted Vils, by the way, so he could get the big army swing. When you think about the pressure of high-level AoE and like how important the defense can be and how confident some of the top players are, I would have been thinking tower rush from Koreans. I would have been thinking pressure from Koreans. I would have been thinking so much, and he just said, go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'm just going to boom and get my relics, and I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure, and I'm going to kill you an imp. And that's what he did. So, congratulations to Combito. Well played. KD, again, fairly even there, but it just had beautiful economic control there. A 28k res collected, 12k gold collected, and Combito ends up going to gold. Now, any player that ends up getting promoted to Gold League, immediately you're wondering, can they stay in Gold League? But it'll be a year from now. I think he can. I think any of the players getting promoted to Gold League from Silver can absolutely compete in Gold League. I don't know if they'll win it. I don't know if they'll go to Platinum League. But yeah, I think they can. All right. So I don't know if it's possible to get an interview here with Combito. I've actually never spoken with him before. He's in the interview channel. So let's ask Combito some questions, see what he's thinking after the series. I want to remind you guys that there is another series coming up between Blue and Ozone. It's another best of 7 playoff. All right, so that'll be starting shortly. Let me hop into the interview channel. All right, hello, Combito. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Hello. Thank you. I feel very good.
Were you nervous in the final moments there when you knew you were about to do it?
Yeah, in the final moments, I was trembling a lot because I knew I had already the game. I was trembling a lot.
Awesome. I like to hear. I couldn't tell when watching. Well, Combito, I wanted to actually just first ask you, when did you start playing AoE 2? Because it wasn't that long ago compared to most players.
Yeah, I start playing like October 22.
Okay.
2K22 probably.
How did you
Yeah,
find the
but
game?
I was watching a live stream of Mario Valle. Do you know
Yep.
him?
Yep.
Yeah, I was watching like I was just a normal player. I mean, I never played competitive games. I was just looking for another game and see this
Yep.
and start playing it.
Did you imagine that within such a short period of time that you would be confirmed top 50 in the world and moving on to something like Gold League?
No, of course, never. I was planning this and imagine this.
Okay. Well, I'll back up a little bit and ask you, coming into Silver, there are a lot of really good players in your group. And in Silver League, everyone kind of knows everyone very well, right? Like you play these players in ranked and you're all around the same elo. So what were your goals and aspirations coming into the group? What did you think was possible?
Well, I think I'm going to make a good job. I will try my best, of course. I have been improving a lot in the last months, especially because I start winning people that before I have never win.
Yep.
And I feel confident. I feel good in this. I know I was like, if not going to classify to gold, at least like take a good position in silver.
Okay.
Since the start.
Did you do any preparation or like any practice sets, or did you just kind of take the week by week in group stage and get the experience
Yeah,
there?
I didn't practice a lot, but yeah, I have like 2, 3 practice partners.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like just 1 or 2 per week, 1 or 2 train per week.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I was very prepared. I win almost all my trains, so I know that I was going to win my almost all my rounds,
Yeah. Which you did.
and I
I
did it.
think the only round you lost was to Say My Name, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was the only one that I lost. As well, I played like 250 ping, so it was like impossible to micro any unit. But yeah, I feel okay with that because I knew that one game, the Seychelles game, I used because I cannot micro anything.
What
But
server what
yeah,
server did you guys have to play on? Mexico to
well,
Vietnam.
we play one on one. Of course, my one was normal, but his one was like Southeast Asia or something like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, 250 ping is a lot.
That
It's
is a lot.
impossible to play.
It changes the game. Yeah, it changes the game.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, especially in the fire ships fights. Like when was going to explode a demo, when I clicked, he already separated his fire ships like a lot of time before. So
um coming into this, what was your experience against Antagonist, and what did you feel the matchup looked like? Because I find you're very similar players in terms of your map choices, but you also are both, like many AoE2 players, you haven't played as long to have a long history there. So what, have you played him in ranked before? Do you have experience there? Just all your thoughts on the matchup.
well, I have played antagonist in ranked like 2 or 3 times before, and of course he win me.
Okay.
And I was really nervous because I watched him like a really good player. Well, I still watch him like a really good player, probably better than me. So I was really nervous before playing. But in the draft, I was confident with the draft. I think my draft was better in some aspects.
Well, I
So
mean,
in that,
well, I
yeah,
mean, based on how the top civs played, that was confirmed at least, right? Because he lost with Koreans, Vietnamese, and Armenians, which is his first, like 3 of his first 4 picks. And for you, you
yeah.
still had your top picks, but that could also be like player preference too, right? Like maybe you're different in what you see as strong.
Hmm.
Were you?
Yeah, I pick like the strongest sieves on some maps that I in my practice sets I detect that was the better sieves,
Okay.
the best sieves on that maps. Yeah.
Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you in game number 1?
In game number one, I was really not nervous because like I make my respiration exercises before that,
Okay. Okay.
and I was okay, like probably two. But when he win me the second game, that I lose one villager with the board and one villager in the bottom,
Yeah.
like I get nervous. I say like, oh, I played super good the first game, and I just throw the second in 5 minutes, in 2 minutes. It's
Yeah. So
like,
you were
come on.
frustrated. You were tilted that the win like disappeared basically.
Well, I'm not tilted as so
I
because
wanted I wanted to ask your exact emotions, right? Because when someone resigns 5 minutes in, it's easy to say like, viewers will be, oh, someone's tilted. So
yeah, I was not tilted because I was prepared to lose that game because he had Bohemians, and I know Bohemians beat Hindustan is not easy, but they beat. So mm, I know I was losing to I know I was going to lose that game.
I
So
see. Okay.
it didn't
So if
affect
you
me a lot.
so if the Civ matchup was better for you, you think you would maybe play on there after losing 2 vills?
Probably yes. If I have a very good matchup in late game in that map, because sometimes the game goes long, right? I will still playing, but no, I don't like the matchup. I don't like Bohemians in that map is good,
Yep.
so I prefer to quit and go next.
Okay. Well, I mean, I won't ask you about all the games. The games were very long. We had a long set here today, but I did want to ask, I mean, for you, you're very new to the scene, and now you'll be in Gold League. So you know the caliber of the players in Gold League. How do you feel you'll be able to compete? In 1 year, you'll be there? Do you think it'll be a struggle? Do you think just thoughts, I guess, on being gold?
Sorry, I didn't understand your question. That if
What do you
I
think
will
about
do it,
being Gold League? Like, how do you think, how happy are you? And also, how do you think you will play in gold?
well, of course, I'm super happy. I'm a little bit sad because I thought that I was going to take the first place on my group and get, of course, a higher prize. But
Yeah.
yeah, at least I in gold. I'm happy, and I think I will do good because uh, in 1 year that will be the next Titans League, right?
Yep.
I think I will improve a lot more, and I will be able to fight the Gold League players because yeah, same that I did in Bronze League. I improve when I play Bronze from now to Silver. I did it good versus all the players, and I think the same from Gold. The same to Gold. I will do good versus Gold players in 1 year. Yeah.
What do you think is an area you have to improve? That's my last question. What do you think is an area you have to improve if you feel there's improvement
hmm
that could be had?
I think all the things I have to improve is the mental aspect because sometimes, especially in ranked, in tournaments, it didn't happen to me because I try to take control of that part. But in rankeds, I don't know. I lost a villager and I quit.
I may or
Or
may not have
then,
experienced that against you quite a few times, Combito.
yeah, or they take my two ships, extra ships, and I quit. And that's, I think if I improve that, especially and have better mindset, I will be better player.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. I think you have a good view on it. Well, congratulations again. I agree with you. Your improvement has been insane. It's very rare that it can happen within the game, and you should be very proud of everything you've accomplished here, and also be confident that you could improve going forward, man. So I look forward to watching more, and congratulations again, Combito.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Really happy.
Alrighty, see you on the ladder. Are you gonna steal my boar next time we play ranked or no?
My I have to say something about that.
I go ahead.
I not a lamer player. I never lamen. Oh well, almost never. I, for example, in this tournament, I still you putting board in one
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And that was all the lame I did, and it's because my scout was like next to him, and say why not? But in ladder, it's so hard that I lame someone.
I
Even Juan, Red Phosphorus, that are super lamer boys, I didn't lame. I just like play defensive anti-laming. I don't know how to say that.
well, it's yeah. In our case, I think I got lamed because I used my eagle and a villager to kill 2 villagers on your wood line that one game, right?
Yeah, if someone lame me, the next game I will play super dirty him, and things stabilize. I will back to the normal. But if
Yeah,
someone do something like that, take for sure that I will play dirty.
yeah. That's fair. I was just making a joke. All good, dude. I get it. Thanks again. Congratulations, Combito. And I'll see you in Gold League, man.
Yeah, see you.
Bye bye. Yeah, I one day I was Mayans on Acropolis, and I had researched Loom at the start, and I figured he'd take the forward wood line, and I moved forward with my eagle and a vil, and he did take the forward wood line, and he didn't have Loom, and I killed his wood line. 3 months later, he's stealing my boar and my sheep. We had played other games as well, no issues. 3 months later, my boar and sheep are getting stolen. And I'm like, lame, question mark? And he goes, you lamed me. And I kind of played dumb. I was like, what do you mean I lamed you? And I knew which game it was. It was from months prior. And he was getting revenge, so that's why I said that. Anyways, guys, the improvement from Combito has been absolutely insane. And at least hearing from him, I feel like his mindset is really good. Would you guys agree? Like, this is rare in AW2, right? Like, 1,000 elo in 2022 moves all the way up as quickly, like hits 2K in a couple years or whatever. But now we're talking like Gold League Qualiber. He's really grown a lot. And I think like mentally he's grown a lot. He talked about how maybe sometimes he could, early resigns and stuff like that. And like, how can anyone sit here and argue that he can't improve if he's gotten that good so quickly and is able to play under pressure at like the highest level in front of lots of viewers? Like, that is not easy. So I think Combito's a legit talent. He's a legit talent. He's definitely up there as like maybe top 5 of like young talents in the scene right now, and place it could go places. So